You just need to know that anything that is in your brain that is like saying to you in like a little tiny voice, like, oh, but you don't know the lens type to use on a camera when you want to get the shot that looks like wide. So you need to learn that fuck it. The guys don't know either. That's why you hire a good DP. This is all I'm saying is that any of us need to pursue these things as if we are fucking experts already in the field, because that is what white men have been doing for generations and generations and generations and generations and generations. And they're not experts in the field. They can't even find the fucking clitoris.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Your name has echoed through my mind, and I just think you should know. I had it in my head. I didn't know what it was. I had to. Okay, first of all, I thought Shazam was a thing that you could hum into.
Oh no, yeah,
No.
That would be so great if that was possible.
But it exists.
Does it? That you can hum into?
I found it. And guess what?
What?
I went, this love is ha ha ha, because I couldn't remember the word treacherous.
Sure.
I mean, if I had gotten the word treacherous, obviously
You could have just Googled the lyrics.
Also just would have known what the song was, because the
Right.
song is Treacherous by one Miss Taylor Swift. I just heard my neighbor slam the door with aplomb, perhaps sending a message to me.
Maybe just, maybe just feeling.
Maybe just the door shut. Maybe just the door. Maybe just the door shut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's give everybody the best.
When I slam a door, it's a complete accident.
I only slam doors. So
one time at Busy Tonight, you slammed a door and I just happened to be behind you, but you didn't know that I was behind you.
God.
And
the amount of times that's happened to people. Jesus.
I was standing there cracking up laughing, and then Mark was behind me and I didn't know, and he was like, she didn't mean that. She was and I was like, she didn't even know I was back here.
Oh,
it was
my God.
It was like a train of people who didn't know people were behind them because all the corridors there were narrow.
I think I'll turn my air conditioner off and see how long I make it.
Yeah, see how long. See
it's
how you do.
95 degrees in New York City. Oof. But also, I had a remote control for this air conditioning unit. I didn't know.
Oh, interesting.
It's just right here. I could have just done it.
Wow.
But also, guess what I just opened?
What'd you just open?
I just opened the non-alcoholic sparkling rosé that you gave me for one of the sparkling rosé that you gave me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Just to try. Just I want to try it.
All right.
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
Taking notes.
For a bear on a wire .substack.com.
For a bear on a wire .substack.com. I think it's going to be, it'll be a good thing. I was like trying to figure out how to post. I don't understand the video component. I want to I want to post video on, you had guys, I'm answering my own questions. They're not even coming out. I
might have put I don't want to be too specific, but I might have put a piece of video up on the Substack that, who knows?
Okay, wait. I got to make a note.
If we all, Busy's making a note on her rosé.
I really enjoy this.
Ari, the video on Substack, don't know how long we'll be allowed to keep it there. If we all play it cool, maybe forever.
Cool, everybody. Be cool.
Maybe I'll
Mom.
I'll add another one and see how it goes.
By the way, do you understand? I didn't even know what my mom was talking about. Like, I assumed that my mom was like, I was checking my email, and then I watched an episode. Yeah, I posted the nice thing that my mother said.
Yeah,
but like, I didn't even know what she was talking about, and I just sort of assumed that, like, in some world, my mom has TiVo and still. Like, does TiVo even still exist? I don't think it does. But like, in my head, my mom has all of the Busy Tonights like saved to her TV somehow. And she
some
just was
people
like
do.
watching it.
That some people commented that they either have the whole show on their DVR and they haven't gotten rid of their DVR, or a lot of people have the last episode still, and some people haven't watched the last episode because they feel like it would be too sad for them to watch it.
I get it, guys. I get it.
Yeah.
We felt the same.
Did it with our eyes closed as well.
My eyes were closed.
Oh my gosh. So you're making notes about your sparkling non-alcoholic rosé
I like it. It's good.
Oh, good. I love that.
Feels nice. Refreshing.
Okay. All right. So you'll do like a full review.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just I'm not like pressuring myself to do it all at one time.
Of course.
I'm going to try them over the next several days and write my feelings down. I don't want to sully the experience. I want to enjoy them.
Yeah, obviously.
Or not enjoy them. Maybe some of them I won't enjoy.
Maybe some will be done.
I already tried one I didn't like. But
okay. There you go. See,
so you live and you learn.
Okay, so look out for that on Substack. Just FYI, the piece of video that I put up was for subscribers. We were looking for something to treat people who were supporting.
And those subscribers are going to continue to be treated.
Yeah. So, but also some of our listeners and friends are doing a really cool thing where they're like gifting subscriptions to the Substack to people. They're like arranging to do like a little gift of subscriptions, which is super cool. Or, if you're really into it and you really, really want to see it, well, there'll be a way. Yeah.
And if it's like not feasible in this moment in time to support monetarily, that is a thing I relate to. So
we get it. We
can make it happen for you.
So yeah. So
reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah. Check out the Facebook group. They've been working on that. And then also like you can.
Guys, let's get off Facebook. Let's get off of it. Let's get off of Facebook. Roll it over.
It's so hard to
who's
leave.
the admin? Who's the admin of Facebook?
Me.
Of our group?
Me.
Oh. We'll just roll everybody over. Guys, we're just gonna let's have the same conversations over there. Can anyone post on the Facebook page?
That's
thing?
The allure of Facebook.
How do we make that? How do we make Substack a little bit more community friendly in terms of like I think that if you have a suggestion for like a post topic, you should submit it.
Definitely,
and then we'll give you cred and. You know what I mean? To start conversations.
I think we could also start
There's two different things.
A weekly thread or whatever. I think here's what the Facebook is good for is it's a lot of like, hey, everybody, I am going away on vacation and I was wondering like what books are everyone reading, and so it's a lot of conversations like that. What shows are you binging right now? Or people share really personal stories about like a medical situation that they're going through and they just want support. So things like that. But we can definitely, I think there's a way that we can I want to look into a way that we can do that without also like flooding everyone's inboxes with like emails every time we.
Oh well, that was I had that issue with with the Substack. I was like, Caissie, make the notification stop. I can't. Like I want to go and read them and like go through them, but like I literally my email was like it was like when it was Ray's last day all over again. I was just like I can't do this. A couple of things. How are you doing?
I just feel like I'm living Groundhog Day busy. My new car, flat tire last night.
No.
And then, I'm holding out hope that the company that we bought the car from will make it right. Mm-hmm. But, like pets getting sick and flat tires never happen on weekdays or during business hours. It's always like when you have to go to extraordinary lengths to get anything done. So we got this guy who like came in his car with a jack and he took our tire and rim away to a place to get a new tire and rim, like after hours. Not a new tire.
And you never saw him again.
No, he left his jack, which I think is like a pretty ingenious business model because those have to be pretty expensive, like more than a tire, I would think. He was a really nice guy, but he was like, did you know that this car has been in a pretty bad accident? And we were like, oh, we were told that no, that it had like.
Where'd you buy it from?
From Carvana.
I don't know what that is.
Carvana is like this service where you can buy a car like online, and it's especially helpful right now because there are car shortages everywhere.
It's a car shortage.
Right. And they like deliver a car to you, which is great. And so we found the car.
There has to be recall.
Well, that's
a recourse.
There kind of is. There's like a return period where if you're not satisfied, you can return it. But I'm bummed because A, I fucking need a car. B, I wrapped the car with vinyl and paid for that.
I remember.
A boo. So, yeah. So waiting to see, but I mean, Joe, the guy who changed our tire last night or replaced our tire, we would have changed it ourselves, but cars don't have spare tires anymore, and it was pretty shredded. So, Joe, who changed our tire last night, was like, this car will never be right. And we were like, okay. But anyway, I'm bringing it in tomorrow to some collision center to see. But the fact of the matter is we wouldn't have bought it if it had been disclosed to us that it had been in an accident. And it has like a clean Carfax report, which just means that whoever crashed it didn't like go through insurance probably or whatever. But also, according to Joe, who worked on our tire, he was like, anyone who inspected this, who knows about cars, would have known that this was in a pretty bad accident. The alignment is very messed
you see
up.
the frame. It's the like frame on the underside.
Yeah.
That's right, guys. I'm an amateur car guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. The blueberry might need to be put down. I don't know. We got to figure it out. But step one tomorrow. But back to being like a one car fucking family with the least reliable car is the one that's like gonna still be home and the one that has to be taken to a job off the premises every day. So I
might have a car for you. I might have a friend I'm serious. I might have a friend. Yeah, no, I just might have a friend who might be able to give you a car for a bit.
All right. Well,
I'm serious.
I mean,
I'm serious.
I'm into it. Our friend Paul F. Tompkins is upgrading his car at some point, and so I'm following that saga because I might jump at buying his car. Who knows?
Emily Beebe keeps talking about what she's going to do with that car. I mean, I have to say, first, Emily Beebe still drives the first gen Prius.
Oh,
from like a million years ago.
She has a plug-in Prius, right?
It's literally, that car is so old.
Is it?
Here's one thing I want to say about Beebe. I don't know if it's frugality or the environment or both.
Yeah.
But she really makes choices that are good for the environment and for your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Because I went to drop off some stuff at her house in LA before we left. And I walked into her house. I had keys. Don't worry. She was at work. Guys, it was 95 degrees inside of her house. And I was like, Emily, I called her. I was like, oh no, your air conditioning's broken. She's like, no. I turn it up during the day when I'm in the office.
Right.
Like, wait, what are you talking about? And she's like, you're not supposed to have your air conditioning. And I was like, no. I understand that. But like, Emily, it's 90 degrees in here. She's like, it is not busy. I'm looking on my Nest thermostat. It says it's 81. I was like, that's too fucking hot. So and then I was like, by the way, where are the dogs? Because she has her dog, and then she's still fostering this other guy,
Nick.
I love
guys. Nick is available for if you're looking to adopt an adorable dog. Look on Emily Beebe's
love Nick
Instagram.
I don't think he's for a house with children.
Right.
You have to be in LA. Listen, here there are requirements. You got to be in LA or surrounding areas.
Emily Beebe's not shipping dogs like Carvana's shipping cars.
She's not shipping a dog. No way.
But you should look at Nick.
You should. It's a Mayday Rescue is the name of the animal rescue that Beebs works with. And so anyway, Nick is a real star, but he just hasn't found his forever home because he's in love with Emily. Anyway,
Right.
it's hilarious to me. But so I'm like, Emily, where are the dogs? And she's like, I don't know. They're probably, I don't know. It's like, it's too fucking hot in here for these dogs. And then I like hearkened back to that whole debacle with Birdie and the cats and the heat and the whole thing.
Right.
Which, if I'm being honest in this moment, I am going to say that Emily's house was like on par with how hot my house was.
Okay. All right.
Okay, like it was fucking hot. Emily's like, fine, I'm turning on the air conditioning because I'm leaving work now and it'll be cooled by the time I get home. I was like, okay, fine. It's not that her house is never like, she's just not a super air conditioner.
Yeah.
She's one of those people that like at night will turn up the air conditioning in the back where she sleeps.
Yeah, zoned
but then
cooling.
like zoned cooling, but then the rest of the house is always kind of just like
Yeah.
not freezing. Anyway,
Well,
I
her
go
dogs
out back.
can go in and out. Were they out back?
Right. Wait, I go out back. The two of them looked like they were like lounging. Like it was like they were like lamb chopping, like their whole bodies. That's what we call it in my family when dogs do that thing where they spread their entire body out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like front paws straight out and back paws back out. We
spatchcocked themselves.
spatchcocked, but we called it. Oh wait, that's funny. That was the word I think that I was looking for when I was a little kid, but instead I called it lamb chopping when our dog would do it, and so then I just have always called it lamb chopping.
That also
but yeah,
makes sense.
spatchcock.
Yeah,
you're right. But anyway, so the dogs were both like lamb chopping out on the tile in the shade, and I took a picture because it was so funny. But
That is so cute. I mean, you know, you can't like roast your dogs. We all know you don't leave your dogs in a hot car. But I will say, I think that my dogs prefer to be like a little hot. And the reason that I say this is because the only time they're not being wild is if we let them out in the backyard. They bark at Fudgy, who we found out that Fudgy's name might be Mochi. But the guy who calls Fudgy all the time says it with such like vehemence that it sounds like Fudgy. So we're just going to continue to call him Fudgy because whatever, we're just going with Fudgy. The dogs go out, they, you know, get into it with Fudgy a little bit, and there's plenty of shade, but they find the hottest part of the patio and lay their little bald stomachs on it and just like fry themselves.
maybe they're like the kinds of maybe they're dogs that are like descend from dingoes or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or they're like 1980s sunbathers. They'll like give me some baby oil and a tinfoil covered cardboard or
like
whatever.
my parents. Like my parents. My parents still. My parents just always are just out there hitting the tanning oil.
Oh my gosh, tanning oil. Do they even still sell tanning oil?
No. My dad will buy, like he rarely buys above 15 SPF.
Wow.
The man is 79 years old, has had skin cancer removed from his body like 47 times.
Wow. And
He's just like
and he's like a rocket scientist.
He's not, but he's an engineer. He's really smart. Yeah, I mean, he was he's a retired
The equivalent of
nuclear engineer.
Okay. But he just likes that frying oil sensation. He just likes
I don't
the
know.
feel
He
of
just
it.
like, yeah. But also I do too, kind of.
Well, you are like, I mean, guys, I can't even describe to you. Like when we did Busy Tonight, at first, we were in like a very tall office building, like a very businessy building. We weren't in our studio yet. And really Busy, that was probably your first like job that was like day-to-day hours in an office, right?
Yes. What? In what world would I have ever worked in an office?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like as a kid, my kids have been working in.
You know my history.
Yeah,
California
it's true.
Pizza Kitchen
It's
to
true.
college to Freaks and Geeks.
I just wanted to confirm. Anyway, what everyone who especially is a woman knows is that like offices are kept like refrigerators because
so that men can wear suits.
And also like women just have like lower body temperatures, I think sometimes. Does that seem right, scientists? Let me know. But Busy would literally press herself up against the windows and like just pine for the sun because it was just too fucking cold in that office. But it was like
I'm a real desert rat. I'm a real desert lizard.
The rest of us were like, oh, it's chilly. I need to put a sweater on or whatever. But I literally felt like it was sapping your life force to have to be in that office air conditioning.
It was. But, you know, and when we moved to our studio too, it's a real interesting mix because I sweat so much.
Yeah.
And I need to be cold. But at the same time, I like love being hot. So you guys, you do the math. I don't fucking know. Speaking of which, you know, I got my first job. I think I was 15 and I got a job at the mall working at the Body Shop as like seasonal help.
Oh, sure.
Over Christmas, like to have extra cashola. That was my job. Like I worked it just for whatever, November and December.
Yeah.
And then once I got into California Pizza Kitchen as a hostess, that's where she remained for the rest of her working days. But anyway, so we just realized that we were so like, there was so much travel and so much like logistical stuff going into planning the beginning of this summer.
Yeah.
We forgot about August. And like
you
totally
just forgot that it was a month.
No, we forgot that the children have nothing to do, not a thing.
Wow.
And not only that, like most of Birdie's friends are like gone.
Right.
Either in Europe or the Hamptons or whatever. Like
wherever they
go. Wherever the fuck rich people go. I don't know.
My old town used to really clear out in the summers while my kids were having a very 1980s summer every year as well.
Well, listen. We just looked it up. Birdie could get a job at Sephora.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of am like, why don't we do that? Why doesn't Birdie just get a job at Sephora for the month of August?
Do it.
See?
No, I've had a job.
I don't think so.
I have worked steadily since before I was 14. My son Eli also, I was just telling this story at, we had like a little thing for Matt's birthday, which Emily Beebe came to. Thank you, Emily
Cut
Beebe.
to Birdie managing the Sephora.
Eli went in, his school, I think, gave him like a job listing or something. And so he made an appointment to go in and he asked me to drop him. And I was like, this looks like another very serious office building. This seems like a weird fit for a 14-year-old. And he was like, well, my school gave me the ad. So he went in and had a meeting and then he came out and he was like, it was weird. It was a mistake. They were looking to hire like a college intern. It's a PR firm, and so it's a no-go, so I got to keep looking. And then a couple weeks later, he was like, hey, the lady that interviewed me at that PR firm called me back and asked me if I still wanted that job being an assistant. So Eli worked as an assistant in a PR firm when he was 14. And every day he'd come home and be like, well, the president of the company was like really struggling over this soap pitch or whatever. And so I asked him if I could give him some ideas. And I'm just like, what a weird.
That's so Birdie. Like, that is so Birdie.
Yeah.
We were on the airplane. We just went, oh my God, can I just stay still for 2 seconds? But we were in South Carolina over the weekend.
You were there for like a second, I feel like.
I was there for a second. It was fine. It was fine. Whatever. Anyway, but there was a woman on the airplane that asked if Birdie was going back to college in Charleston, the College of Charleston. And I was like, ma'am, Birdie's 13. By the way, you have to be 14 to work at Sephora, but Birdie's almost 14. And so.
Okay. When do they turn 14?
August 13th.
Okay. They could get 2 solid weeks in before school starts.
I know.
That's a career. That's like you could get a ton of experience in just 2 weeks there, especially in New York City.
Can I tell you how long I worked at a makeup counter when I was in college? Have I ever told you this?
No.
So, I worked at California Pizza Kitchen and I always was like, I loved my CPK job. But then one of my like suite mates or a girl that lived in my dorm, I can't remember how this happened, was like, oh my God, I met this woman at Century City Mall at Bloomingdale's, and she hires for like independent makeup and perfume salespeople or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so I guess if, I don't know, this was how it worked way back in the late 90s. Who knows what it's like now? But basically, you're not hired by Bloomingdale's. You're hired by like whatever company it is that's selling. They're like contractors, private contractors in the Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
In the makeup and like fragrance section.
Right.
And this is so bizarre. But the woman, it was like a company that had gotten into Bloomingdale's that had created color changing nail polish.
Oh.
I mean, why? Who knows? But anyway, guys, it was like 97. You know what I mean? So anyway, she was like, the money is so good. It's insane. It's like $12 an hour.
Whoa.
And I was like, whoa, that is crazy, you know? And I'm like working CPK for like whatever it was at the time, like $5 an hour, probably something, whatever minimum wage was. So anyway, I was like, hook me up. So I had like the weekend shifts. I had and the company also, I had to sell. So I had to like try to push the color changing nail polish, but also weirdly a makeup line based on the movie Velvet Goldmine.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, so those were the two things that I was like kind of like in charge of in my little section. So I go,
oh my God.
The shift is like short. They pay you a lot, but the shift was only like, I feel like it was like only 5 hours or something like that.
Right.
I'm booked Saturday and Sunday. I go the first day on Saturday. It was the slowest 5 hours of my fucking life. It was, I swear to you.
No one came in?
It wasn't, Bloomingdale's was hopping. It was like, I don't know. We were like I was in this section like off to the side with no one else. And like, it was like, no one came over there, and I was like,
no one was interested in the hypercolor nail polish.
For sure not. But also, I was like trying to talk to people. No one wanted to talk to me. I was trying. And then, you know, I'm very sensitive to smells. I had a fucking migraine. I was like, I left the place with like the craziest migraine because the perfume all around me and all the makeup and everything. So anyway, I went the next day for my shift, and I worked like the first hour of it, and then I was like, fuck this, and I just left. And I never got the money. I never got paid. I just like,
oh man,
split. I just split.
Oh my God.
I don't regret it. I don't regret it.
You know the restaurant chain Friendly's?
Mm-hmm.
My husband, as a teen, got a job as a server or a dishwasher at Friendly's, and I don't know if it was his first shift or second, maybe, I don't know. But in one of his first few days there, he just went into the freezer, changed into his street clothes, left his uniform folded up, and just skedaddled.
I feel like any millennials listening to us, their feelings right now are like, yeah, so why are you guys telling these stories?
Oh my gosh.
I feel like millennials, like that's the vibe, right? Like a lot of millennials are just like, yeah, it's not really for me. Like I'm just not going to come back. It was unheard of to like just leave a fucking job.
Oh my God.
Just bounce. Like you wouldn't dream of doing it. And it felt so like, I don't know. I was like horrified that I had done it, but I did have CPK to fall back on, so I was okay.
Yeah, you're right. Because we got a lot of talks about how like you're not just letting yourself down by being a quitter, you're also letting everyone else down who's relying on you, and you got to stick it out and see it through and give notice and make sure that everyone's comfortable with your every move. And so, yeah, I think we probably had that drilled into us. I know I got hired at CNN once and I left after 3 days and I felt terrible about it, but I also knew there was no way in hell I was going back to that job because it just was not for her.
It was not for her.
I loved the lunchroom, miss it to this day, but the job itself was not as advertised.
I read the Oprah Quarterly on my plane back today.
Oh, how was that?
I don't know. It was all right.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. And it's also just like, I don't know. It felt like it was like they're cramming too much into here. Like I needed some space.
You need it once a month.
And I need some fluff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's too much crammed.
Also, I sort of miss when I feel like I have a little bit of a reputation for like recommending products that I love. And because I think the reason why I like to do that is because I sort of miss back in the days when I really believed that people and personalities were honestly recommending products that they couldn't live without. And now that I know that it's like, for the most part, like a PR exchange or whatever, where like they're like, oh yeah, we'll show your hypercolor nail polish in our magazine or whatever, like that's fine. We have space for it. Like now that I know that for the most part, things that you see recommended in media, it's like, you know, it's a trade. So that bums me out. So that's why I love to make recommendations that I have no business, I mean literal business recommending. Like I don't get paid to recommend them because I just love knowing that like I can trust that something's really great. I love a genuine rec.
And you trust no one more than yourself.
That's right. That's right.
So when you recommend something, you're going to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll tell you if it stinks too. I'll tell you if it's a bomb, but you know.
Well, that car was a...
I mean,
sounds like it might be a lemon.
I am really holding out hope that Carvana makes it right.
Oh my gosh. How to buy a home, 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 how to buy a home podcast. We love you. Here's what I'm going to say.
We do love it.
We do love it, but here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say a few things. Number one, things are getting more expensive, including rent, prices skyrocketing, and buying a home might feel scary, but it might be the best option for you because you're guaranteed a fixed payment for the next 30 years. But here's what I'm going to recommend. We are recommending that you check out the How to Buy a Home podcast because David Sidoni is an industry expert with years of experience who's devoted to helping first-time home buyers navigate a crazy marketplace. And I have to tell you something, as the daughter of a realtor, retired mom, realtor, it's always been a crazy marketplace. Yeah. And every time people are like, oh, don't buy a house now. It's a crazy market. But you know what? Then you miss out. So there are things that you will learn when you listen to the How to Buy a Home podcast, like that the Fed introduced the biggest interest rate hike since the 90s. But do you know the difference between interest rates and mortgage rates? Guess who's going to break that down for you? David
Sidoni.
How to Buy a Home is an incredible resource. You don't have to take notes. There are full transcripts of every episode available at howtobuyahome.com, which is literally my favorite part of the podcast because I have pointed several friends over to howtobuyahome.com to those transcripts because you can scroll through and see the question that you have answered and like broken down
it's
by
right there.
David Sidoni. It's right there. It has helped so many listeners close on houses that they thought were impossible, even as things went bonkers in these last years. He can also, by the way, David will even connect you with a great realtor in your area. So start your path today with the How to Buy a Home podcast and make this the last year you rent. Listen to the How to Buy a Home podcast today. Find How to Buy a Home. That's the name of it. How to Buy a Home on YouTube and also just wherever you listen to podcasts. Where are you listening to this? Look up How to Buy a Home.
He's there.
He's there, guys. He's there. Oh, my ginger. Oh, I love this ginger essential oil. I was just using it. I was literally just using it.
I was just using it because they sent me these little closet pomades that you put the ginger
Yes.
oil and you hang it in your closet. And so now my new closets smell better than they look.
Wait, can I tell you something? First of all, don't talk about your closets that way. Because they can hear you and they will respond. But secondly, you know what I do?
What?
I put them in my drawers.
Genius.
I do. I put them in my drawers and my t-shirts smell real good. I love them. I love the way my t-shirts and my workout clothes smell because of Ginger's amazing essential oil. That's ginger with 2 J's. Jinjer. Guys, you've heard us talk about this before. You're like, why am I, guys, busy? Caissie, what are you talking about? Why do I need an essential oil? What's happening?
Well, you don't need just any essential oil.
This is the truth. Ginger is a high quality, 100% natural essential oil made from the ginger root. It's free of micro impurities, comes pre-mixed with its own carrier oils, so you can use it directly on your skin. It helps with inflammation. I use it on my ankles and my knees when I have inflammation after working out or walking too much. You can use the guasha stone that you can get in the little ginger rejuvenating self-care kit.
Yes.
That has a guasha stone. If you guys don't know how to use guasha stone, get onto that path. I don't know what to do with you, but it is actually just incredible. I use it on my wrists and my hands when I'm getting carpal tunnel. I love it, and it smells so good that I don't feel weird.
Right.
There are certain things that I'm supposed to use for my carpal tunnel or my arthritis in my knees and stuff that I'm just going to be quite honest. If I put it on myself, I'm well, now I smell like a nursing home and I actually don't want to go meet my friends for dinner.
Right.
But ginger smells so friggin' good.
Yes.
This ginger oil.
A little in a diffuser. It just changes the whole attitude of your environment.
I mean, it does change the attitude of your environment. And also you can put it on your joints and put it on your knees and whatever. And you smell really good. And you can go to dinner with people and they're not what is that smells like literally my grandma? You're what is that smells delicious? Can I get a ginger margarita? Anyone? I'm in. I'm telling you, ginger essential oil is a game changer. Caissie and I know you're going to love it too. You need to check out the rejuvenating self-care kit. You'll get that guasha stone with it. You'll get the diffuser and the little thing you can hang in your closet or put in your drawer if you're me. Right now, our listeners can get the special offer, 20% off your first purchase, but you have to visit our special URL. It's jinjer.us/best. That's jinjer.us/best. Don't miss out. Go to ginger with 2 J's .us/best. You're really going to love this oil. I'm telling you. Can I tell you something that happened with me recently?
Yes, please.
So I'm still trying to figure out my real stuff,
Oh, selling your clothings.
I have a bunch of clothes that's ready to go, but
I
it was
do
just
too.
it was just a lot. And it
you have to measure everything.
Wait, what did I say?
You said the real.
Oh, I meant Poshmark.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out the Poshmark sale.
Yeah, both are great.
Situation. Okay. Well, this is what I wanted to say about the real. So, but I did have some things. And guys, I took notes. My Poshmark sale, I got a lot of can we just have stuff that's not
Couture.
super couture
Yeah.
stuff, which I was like, I get that.
Yeah.
But I had some items that were like, and if you don't know what Real is, it's like they only take certain designers. It's like all designer goods. Everything,
Okay.
if it's like a designer, you know, like they won't accept.
Right.
There are
It has to
brands
be,
they
like,
won't accept.
authenticated and
Yes, it has to be authenticated. Like if you sell a Louis Vuitton handbag, like they make sure that it's like they authenticate it. Like they go
that
through
it's
this whole process.
real.
That it's real. Because they kind of charge, it's like more expensive resale stuff. It's like, you know what it is? It's like an old fashioned like consignment store.
Right.
Right? But
Yeah.
it's just online.
Yeah.
Smart. But anyway, but I haven't sold anything with them in a really long time. And so I like made some hard choices just because I'm trying to downsize everything. You know, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
And I did make some hard choices because so much of my thing with clothing too is that like, and by the way, blessed, but I'm being proven correct. My kid is like so thrilled with all of my clothes,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And has been like, you know, quietly stealing clothing of mine now for the last like year solid.
Well, that'll help
know?
you downsize.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That is true. But anyway, so I had like the person come over from the Real. They like, you can have like an appointment or you can go in there or whatever.
Sure.
I had so much stuff. I was like, just come here and go through all the stuff, whatever. So he went through all the stuff. I really liked him. And he left. And then like my stuff got listed. You know, it doesn't say that it's mine or whatever, but it gets
Right.
listed and sold. And okay, maybe it was like a lapse in my own judgment in like putting this dress in there. But there was this dress by a designer that like the designer had like, was like a friend of a friend. And I bought it. I
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah.
But he like gave it to me at like a very, very, very reduced
Friends and
price
family.
because a friends and family discount because of friends and family. But they literally listed it on the Real World. No,
Not on the Real World, but
no. They listed it and sold it. It sold immediately because somebody is like fucking smart on the Real for like $150. And then I like looked. I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked and they had another one of this guy's dresses on there that was listed for like $2,500.
Why
like
did-
that's the discount price.
why
Is $2,500.
did they sell it for $150?
And by the way, can I just be honest with you? Guys, you know, I'm open with the money situation that I'm in, kind of. Like, I only gave that dress. I would have kept that dress for Birdie. It never really fit my tits. It never really fit my boobs. If I'm being honest, even at my like most svelty version of myself, which is what I was when I got that dress, it didn't really fit right. Like it didn't really fit my boobs ever.
Yeah.
But like it was like a rad fucking dress. And the only reason why I didn't save it for Birdie, why I like got rid of it, was because I was like, you know what? It's a lot of like it's an expensive fucking dress. And it would be better for me to just have that money than to like,
Right.
Isn't that suck? And so then I like reached out and I was like, hey dude, I'm confused. Like what happened here?
Yeah.
And it's been a while. And like I was like, can you stop the sale? Like I don't want to sell it for that. That's insane.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, that's not how it works. Like da 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 da. And I was like, but no one, like, how can you just list? Anyway, I guess they can. That's part of the whole deal, right? Is like they can just list it for whatever the fuck they want. But it was a mistake. So anyway, I guess he just texted me that I got like a site credit. I'm like, I don't want fucking site credit. I don't want the site credit.
I need money.
I want the fucking money, dude. But it's also like, just like, Oh no, rude. It's fucking rude.
That kind of thing just gives me so much anxiety. Like your whole thing with the Real, my whole thing with Carvana, like waiting to hear if you're gonna get boned or if someone's gonna come through and like help you fix something. I just can't with the anxiety. It's too much. It's too much for me.
Well, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I guess then it is like one of those things where it's like, move along, lesson learned.
Yeah,
okay.
The universe is trying to tell you trying to teach you a lesson. But
are they?
Don't be so mean, universe. That's just what I tell myself so that it doesn't feel so bad. I'm like, oh, I got some value out of this.
I don't know if it's like that. Like, I know what you're saying. I just feel like, yeah. I think you're right. It's like you have to figure out what it is, though. Like, it's like not always obvious what lesson is being shown to you, you know?
Right.
Did I tell you? I think I texted you about my trying to be frugal. What happened when I got back into New York last week with Birdie? I did, didn't I?
Yes, but tell everyone.
So, I know, guys. I'm really trying. I have new business managers who are helping me like figure out money stuff and like how to not, you know, I am like a person who is very like free when I have money with the money.
Yeah.
And I spend it on people and I give it to people and I give it to charity and I pay for everyone's dinners. And I just am that person. I'm like that fucking person. Needless to say, I'm trying to like change things, shift it and take more control and have more power and empower myself, blah, blah, blah. So, but like in that, I'm like, I do think I have a tendency to sort of like waste money on food, especially like I order for everybody, or I mean, like I'll like pay for everybody at meals, or like, you know, like I don't need to do that always.
Not
like
all the time. No,
it's no.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's also like nice to take turns with your friends.
Yeah.
Like whatever. It's fine. That's not even the point. The point is that we flew back from LA. It was just me and Birdie and Bevan. My seat was broken on the plane. Sucked. It was,
and they were trying.
By the way,
they were trying to help you desperately, but
they really were.
Yeah.
But also, the woman on board. I should email Delta. Shit, I didn't do it. Is it too late? Statute of limitations. You know how they are.
I don't know. No, I mean, try.
It was just a week ago.
Yeah.
No, it was less than a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna email. Because, like, guys, the seat was like, it was like, would it not only not recline? Wait, not only did it not recline, it was like sort of like so upright that it was almost pushing me forward a little bit.
Pitched forward. the most comfortable.
And I did say the flight attendants felt so bad, and they were like, when I sat down in it the first second I sat in the seat, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But then I thought like, oh, this must just be what it's like for takeoff and landing. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then of course, obviously it was broken and I couldn't recline at all.
Oh no.
And the flight attendants were like furiously trying to fix it, trying to like, I don't even know. They were doing like all this. They just tore the seat apart. They were like pulling manual levers and like, it was wild. And I was just like standing there sort of embarrassed, literally standing over that cute actress she's like little and she played like the mom on How I Met Your Mother, you know, like at the very end. And then she was in Palm Springs. I don't know her name. She's got dark hair.
Gosh.
You know she is. And then she's like the lead of like sitcom. She like gets parts all the time. I don't know her name. We don't know each other, surprisingly. Hold on. Kristen Milotti. Literally like hovering over her as she's like fully reclined watching whatever movie she was watching. I'm kidding. She was, obviously. But like, Anyway, it was awkward, and then they were just like deeply apologetic, and then I was just like, you know what, this feels right. Like this is what I need right now. Like I just need this. I need this reminder that like
this lesson from the universe.
This is a lesson from the universe. It's like you can like con someone else into buying you a first class ticket, but like, you know, when the seat doesn't recline, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle it?
Oh my God. So
anyway, but the flight attendant, like one of the flight attendants was like, I put 5,000 miles on your account, which is like, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
You can like just buy 5,000 miles like, for $50.
What does that get you? Yeah.
Nothing. So needless to say, I do think I should reach out just because like, wait, but I didn't tell you the frugality.
Oh, the frugality. Yes.
Okay. So just needless, there was a bunch of other dramas. It doesn't matter, guys. We're going to get to it at some point. It's just not today that we're going to talk about it. Well, I hope it'll be next week. We'll talk about it. Anyway. Oh God. So, so we finally get to New York, traffic, so much luggage, just a day. It was just a fucking day. I've been up since 5 a.m. I thought I would sleep on the plane. Obviously, that didn't happen. I was like, Birdie, can I get food? There's no food in the house. Well, I'm going to order food. Birdie's like, I'm not hungry. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to order from this place. Birdie's like, I'm not hungry. I'm like, okay. My food shows up. Birdie's like, I'm hungry. I want. I was like, yeah, no shit. So I was like, what do you want? So Birdie was like, I want calamari and a pepperoni pizza. I was like, that's a lot from this place. I was like, that's a lot. Can you just have one? And Birdie's like, no, I need both. And I was like, ugh, okay. I order it. And then I'm like brings me the tray back with the like boxes or whatever from the takeout, and like has not touched the calamari. And I was like, dude, Caissie.
We froze a little bit, obviously.
Of course. Ugh. Also, do you know what the problem with the non-alcoholic wine is?
What?
There's no alcohol in it. That's the fucking problem.
That is the problem.
Oh my God.
Guys, we had a little internet crash. Just as Busy was about to tell me about Birdie said they were hungry.
Okay. Birdie said they were hungry. I ordered what they requested, which was calamari and a pepperoni pizza. The calamari was not cheap, but I was like, I don't want to. The kid wants calamari, fine. Didn't fucking eat the calamari. I was like annoyed. Didn't know. I was like, I can't throw this out. This is like too wasteful.
Right.
I put it in the refrigerator. The next day I was like, surely I can just reheat calamari in the air fryer and I'll eat it. Okay, guys, don't do it. Because not only is it disgusting, but your entire house is going to smell like a fucking squid farm and you're going to be real bummed.
Better than air fryer maggots.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Sorry to bring it back up. But I was on the phone with you when you were trying to eat it, and you went outside.
I almost threw up.
You went outside because your house was too smelly, but you still were going to try to eat the...
I didn't. I was like, I'm not even going to try to eat it. And then I was like, it's so wasteful. And then I was like, it's fried. Literally, these are the thoughts that went through my head in such rapid fire, quick succession. How bad could it be? It's fried.
Right.
I put one piece in my mouth. It can be it was terrible. It was worse than you can imagine bad. Like I truly almost vomited.
Oh no.
It was bad. So anyway, then I had to leave the house to throw it out.
Yeah, because you can't just.
Because it was,
Yeah.
no, it was just too disgusting.
Yeah.
Which I said to Caissie, I think is technically illegal. But you're not really, it's like no household trash in those. But I was like, you know what, guys? Anyone who tried, I would be like, take me in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Just
this
don't
is-
don't throw this calamari away in the jail where you're keeping me.
do what you must. But good God, let this calamari die. Anyway.
But you tried. And now, if you were a regular mom and not a cool mom, the next time anyone tried to order calamari, you'd be like, no, last time you didn't eat it and we wasted $18 on calamari. And
by the way, that's 100% happening. Because also, guess what doesn't travel well?
but you have to keep it up until the child is like in their 40s. And then when they try to get calamari, be like, are you sure you want to get calamari? Remember that time when you made me waste $18 on calamari or however? When I was a little kid, I don't know why, my aunts and uncles were all trying skiing, and
They were trying skiing?
Yeah, they were, we lived within like driving distance to a mountain where you could ski to like, a ski, what do they even call that? It's not a resort, but it's just like
Yeah, they call it a
mountain
ski resort.
But it's not a resort. Like, it didn't have a place you could stay on it. It was just a skiing facility. But anyway, I think my grandparents had more money than like my nuclear family had. So skiing was more achievable for them. But I don't know if they bought their stuff or they rented it or whatever, because my
They probably rented it.
Probably. But so anyway, I was like, I want to try skiing. And I was probably like 5 years old or something. And I don't know why, but my parents were like, okay, which is not they said no to plenty of things. I don't know why they thought skiing would be the thing, or maybe they thought, I don't know, that I'd like go to the Olympics or something. But they bought me skis and boots and bindings and like a snowsuit and got me all fitted.
But maybe they didn't know that you could just rent it.
I'm wondering if like maybe they didn't have it at the time for like someone that small. It's not the wisest investment, because a 5-year-old's gonna outgrow skis in like 2 weeks or whatever, outgrow the boots. But so anyway, yeah, they bought all this shit and like put me at the top of the mountain, and I was like, no, I'm never doing this. I don't want to do it. And so I've never skied, but the next time I brought it up when I was like 16 in high school and was thinking like, oh, a lot of the cool kids are in the ski club.
You want to go skiing?
Yeah. And my mom was like, oh no, remember what happened last time you tried skiing? And I was like, I was 5. Hopefully I would not scream and wet my pants at the top of the mountain. You never know.
But did you go or no?
No, I never went. I've never been skiing.
I gotta say, I think it's the right call.
It's dangerous.
'Cause just knowing your joints.
Yeah, it's
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
no,
Knowing
you're
your
right.
joints.
You're right. We didn't
You know
know this
what?
back then. I was
You
doing
didn't, and yeah.
plenty of dangerous but free things. But I never have skied. And you know what? I don't really love snow that much either. I guess like it was maybe my attempt at like, well, I wanted to hang out with cool kids. And let's be honest, like rich kids, because those are the kids that skied. But also maybe trying to like make a lemonade out of lemons situation. Like if you live in a place where it snows, maybe you could find something fun to do with it. But I'm not a snow. The only thing I like about snow is how it looks from inside.
I agree.
They should sell passes just to ski lodges. Do they? Because I would like go sit my ass in a ski lodge all winter long.
Yeah, I think that's a whole thing.
Yeah, like I'd be a lodge bunny.
Yeah, snow bunnies or whatever they're called.
I would do that. Probably has some terrible other meaning that I'm not getting. But I would like sit by the fire in a cute outfit, drinking hot cocoa all winter long, and never step foot outside. Although,
yeah, I mean,
they did make skiing look kind of fun in House of Gucci. I know you never saw that movie.
I did see that movie.
You did?
Yeah, I watched it
On a plane, probably.
I watched it in LA. I thought I told you this when I was there for Girls Five Eva stuff. That panel thing that I was doing in May.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I watched it in the hotel. I thought we talked about this. I was floored. I was truly like, have never experienced like an out of body feeling watching a movie before where I'm like, I could see them shooting it.
Yeah.
And like I could feel what they were thinking while they were shooting it.
Sure.
And like how they thought that this was so good. And because I've been in those situations before where you like are as an actor or you're in a thing that you're like, this is fire.
It's going to kill.
Like this is I am doing it. And then you see it and you're like, oh no. Oh, I did not do anything, in fact. Oh God. But like there were moments that were so insane in that fucking movie. You know who I like weirdly though respected the most was Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. I feel like he was doing a bit.
He was, whatever the fuck he was doing was like a performance art piece.
Yeah.
But like he felt like he understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Like that this is camp and we're going to do camp.
Yeah.
And like I'm here for camp.
Yeah.
And I'm here to just fucking chew it up. And like there is a thing with Al Pacino in that movie that is so fucking insane that I was like, I rewound it like 4 times because I couldn't believe like how unhinged this was. I don't think they made skiing look great. I think that one like lunch with all the rich people looked nice, but that's what you're saying essentially.
Well, yeah, like the outfits and everything. I mean, I think that looked like a fun time, even though it was the spoiler alert demise of a marriage, but which was doomed. I'm sure
doomed from the start.
Doomed from the start. House of Gucci proved to me 2 things. One,
I'm so curious.
I'll watch Adam Driver do anything. Doesn't matter, good, bad, or ugly. I'm going to watch it. He's compelling to watch. He's just like a musician. You know how like when you go see a band play and there's sometimes like one musician that you just can't take your eyes off of, even if you like don't care about the band? That's Adam Driver for me.
Like the one Haim sister.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I love them as a band. I think they're great.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't.
There's
like,
one that you can't
watch.
stop looking at because she's just compelling to look at. The second thing is that there are certain movies that would just be improved by the addition of 2 to 3 Muppets. And House of Gucci is one of them.
Wait, but they had one. Jared Leto. Jared Leto was full Muppet.
He kind of was full Muppet.
Muppet.
Yeah.
He was 100% Muppet.
Yeah.
The other thing I felt watching it was like, this is so stupid. I'm not in this movie. Like, I was like, I should have been in this movie.
I can also not do an Italian accent very well.
I too am terrible at Italian accents. No, you know who I thought I should be was Jared Leto's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been great.
Good. You would have killed it.
Great. I would have killed it.
Oh my
I could be a trashy girlfriend of a rich guy. Come on. Pulling the strings of Lady Macbeth.
Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it's fun to watch a movie that just, that didn't go where everybody thought it was going to go. But
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I wasn't mad.
When I had the experience of watching that movie, like being able to see like in specific scenes too, when I'm like, God, they took this so fucking seriously. And they were like on set and like after like, great day at work. Like, God, we're really doing the work. We're really doing the work. And then you watch it back and you're like, there is not an ounce of truth in any, like, it's like so insane. It's so bad. And I only say this as an artist, as a person who has literally been there, where you're like, I am at the core of humanity, the root of the realness of a person's experience, lived fucking experience. And then you see it on camera and you're like, oh shit. Well, okay.
You're like, they can do a lot with editing these days.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Like, you know, when it's like, there are a few performances, guys, that like in Hollywood lore or whatever, they're like, oh, it was all in the editing. Like that person's performance was terrible. And apparently it was all in edit, blah, 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 blah. And then you see something like House of Gucci and you're like, well, I mean, what was it like before the edit? Like, what was it like? What happened? Like, it was, anyway, I loved it. I really loved it. I really did. I really loved it.
Oh my God.
It brought me such joy.
I watched it on a plane, and then to bring it back to embarrassing plane moments, my favorite all time, we've talked a lot about like watching movies, sad movies on planes. I think planes are a great time to watch bad movies that no one else will watch with you because you're like by yourself. But it brings me to this story that I know I've never told on the podcast. One time I was traveling.
I thought we weren't saying that anymore.
I know, but I confidently know that I never told this story, so I'm pretty happy about it. Cut to, somebody's going to be like, you did. But anyway, I was traveling somewhere for work with a colleague, and it was just about the time in history where people felt confident bringing their laptops everywhere. Sure. You know, like, remember when there was a time when laptops were like a little too heavy and a little too precious to like...
Well, I don't know. I had the seashell.
to toss in your bag and drag to Las Vegas.
Anyone else?
I remember the seashell. Yes.
It had a handle.
Yes. So anyway, I think we're going from New York to Las Vegas to work on a show in Las Vegas, like a live show in Las Vegas. Anyway, my colleague Lucas is sitting across the aisle from me, and I don't think there was like an in-flight movie. So Lucas is like, no problem. He opens his tray table. He gets out his laptop, and he is just going to watch a movie that he's downloaded. And the movie that he downloaded was the Team America, the, you know, Matt Stone and Trey Parker puppets.
Oh, I'm familiar.
You know that movie. Which, fine, you know, he's watching the movie. It's a funny movie. I'm like, oh God, he's going to be cracking up laughing and like causing a disturbance. That's not what caused the disturbance. Lucas didn't laugh. What caused the disturbance was there's a very graphic puppet sex scene. And the flight attendant was like, sir, you can't watch that on this plane. And Lucas's face turned so red, and he was like, no problem. And he was trying to like close his laptop and stop the movie. God. But then another flight attendant came to see what the hubbub was, and she was like, no, sir, you can keep watching that. That's just puppets.
No.
The two flight attendants had a full, loud disagreement in the aisle over whether you could watch puppets fucking on a laptop in the air. And Lucas was like, it's fine. I don't want to watch it anymore. It's fine.
Lucas was out. He was fucking out. He was like, please just stop talking about this. Wait, can I tell you that when I was writing my book, you know, I would write it in coffee shops because I need a lot of chaos around me to write. Yeah. And your husband and I actually talked about that.
Yes.
If you have ADD, guys, maybe you'll know this, but for me, in order to do creative work, I need to listen to music in my ears really loudly, and like kind of the more chaotic the music, the better. It like weirdly helps my brain focus on what I'm writing.
Right.
And Matt also has that experience.
Yes.
And then people who do not have ADD are like, how the hell are you listening to Modest Mouse, like in your ears while you're trying to write this fucking thing. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that when you're in coffee shops that have Wi-Fi, sometimes you find out that people use the Wi-Fi in coffee shops for things that they want to look at that maybe they aren't looking at in their own homes. And I had that experience where I was like, oh my God. And it was a guy looking at anime porn.
Wow.
Online. And I just was like, yeah, what do I do here? You're in a public place. Like you should, is it illegal to look at porn in public?
I mean,
it's bad manners.
It's definitely bad manners.
At 10 a.m. on a fucking Wednesday.
In a coffee. Yeah.
In a coffee place.
Yeah. It's definitely bad manners.
But it wasn't like he wasn't being like, you know, like when people say things loudly for everybody else's benefit.
Yeah.
Like everything I've ever said. Or like it wasn't, like it wasn't very obvious.
Like he wasn't being an exhibitionist.
He was not being, that's right. He was not being an exhibitionist about it. And yet.
You still saw out of the corner.
I very clearly out of the corners of mine eyes saw the.
But that's
the cartoon, well, anime. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
It was weird. I didn't know what to do, so I just moved.
Yeah. Because, like, why is that guy doing that he's just watching it for the story? He's just doing that in the coffee shop? Like, I feel like that's a thing you'd want to, you know, be by yourself. But I don't know. Maybe it does have, like really good stories.
I don't know either. And you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, it's true. I'm glad you moved. The internet will always get you. I think, again, it's one of those things, like sometimes, you know, people share a screen, people do things on Zoom that they didn't mean to do, but the internet will always tell on you if it gets the chance.
Yeah, it really will. Okay, I have a confession to make.
Do.
Okay. So Kitsch, which is like Birdie and my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
The pillowcases, the hair towels that I use, the scrunchies, like all of these things.
Yeah.
Well, Kitsch is advertising on our podcast now. Birdie and I have spent millions of dollars on Kitsch before they started advertising on our podcast. Can I tell you the one thing that Birdie insisted on bringing on the ill-fated European trip?
What?
Was the Kitsch pillowcase
to
zip around any pillows that they might encounter along the way. And I was like, you know what? I get it.
That's
Bring
genius.
that pillowcase. Here's what's in my packing. You know, I've been gone for 3 weeks. Here are the 3 Kitsch products that were my actual. This is like, guys, I'm not even kidding you. This isn't even about the ad because I've had too much wine. This is like legitimate. These are the 3 things that I packed from Kitsch, who are now an advertiser on our podcast, but items that I paid for because I love them so much, and I had them packed on my 3-week trip. I had 1 satin zip-up pillowcase from Kitsch in my luggage. I had 1 quick dry hair towel from Kitsch, and I had a scrunchie collection from Kitsch, like the satin scrunchie collection that I use and put in my hair when I work out so that it doesn't, because I get no breakage when I use it in my hair while I'm doing my workouts.
Yeah,
okay?
It's so perfect. Also great for travel are the shampoo and conditioner bars. And I want to point out that Kitsch's satin is vegan and cruelty-free. So if that's something that you're concerned about, don't worry about it. My hair is like, it's nuts in the morning if I just sleep on a regular old rough pillowcase. Satin pillowcase, a whole new world.
I recognize that this is a thing, like a small luxury that doesn't have like a huge price tag, but like affords me a luxurious feeling.
Yes.
And I need this in my life.
And you
I'm
need
serious.
it in your lives too.
Years ago, I remember I was doing a thing for like a travel magazine. And they were like, what is your number one thing you always have to pack? And it is my Kitsch quick dry hair towel.
Yes.
100% of the time, no matter where you're going on vacation, you put that sucker in your luggage. And I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world.
You need Kitsch in your life.
If you don't have Kitsch in your life, you need Kitsch in your life. If you do have Kitsch in your life, you need more Kitsch in your life. And if you go to mykitsch.com/best, Kitsch is offering you 30% off your entire order. That's right. 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled mykitsch.com/best. Once more, mykitsch.com/best. 30% off your order, guys. I actually think I might go there and just like buy some more things for Birdie. Like just literally, I'm not even kidding. Like I think I might do it.
Do it.
Okay, I'm going to. You guys do. You guys too. You know what? I need Sakara. I actually, like, guys, Sakara's an advertiser this week. And if you've heard me talk about Sakara before, you know that long before they advertised on this podcast, I was a Sakara believer and lover.
Always carrying it around with you.
Yeah, especially when we were doing Busy Tonight. But just now, as I'm seeing the words Sakara, I was like, yep, that's next week for me. I'm ordering it.
Right, because you've been traveling.
So much. I've been traveling. I'm off kilter. My system is all weird. Like, I just feel, like I don't feel right. And Sakara believes that feeling your best starts with what you eat. And by the way, they're not wrong.
You agree. I agree.
Not wrong. It helps you to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle, but also to truly enjoy it because the meals are delicious and plant-rich and functional wellness essentials, and it all builds a foundation for radiant health. Listen, they're ready-to-eat meals, functional wellness essentials. They show up to your door. Who can argue with that?
They're delicious.
You're never sacrificing taste or quality. When you nourish your body, you can transform your life. And with the plant-rich meal delivery program and functional wellness essentials, you get to be in the driver's seat of your own health, and you can experience the true transformation. I'm telling you, when I do Sakara, people stop me in the street and ask me what I do for my skin. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. It glows. I'm serious, Caissie.
No, I know. I know. I've seen it.
It's the plant-based ingredients. It boosts your energy. It supports your digestion. It curbs sugar cravings. You're in a bad habit. You've been traveling. That's where I'm at. Sakara is delivered right to your door. You don't even have to think about it. They're just like, here you go, ma'am. Here you go. Here are the tools you need to transform your life. Sakara is a wellness company that is anchored in food as medicine, and it is on a mission to nourish your body through the power of plants. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/busy or enter code busy at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/busy to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/busy. Let's all do it next week, guys.
You saw what happened to our friend Angela Kinsey.
No, what?
Angela is the best on Instagram. I love her Instagram. It's just, it's such a happy place and, just delightful. And she has so much fun with her kids and her husband. she made a post where she took a picture of somebody had set a new toilet paper roll on the toilet paper roll holder, because to like call someone out in her family and be like, who did this? Was it my husband or my kids? But she must have been sitting on the toilet when she did it. And so the shiny toilet paper roll holder had like a reflection of her butt. And like she didn't know, she just posted it to Instagram. And so I don't know if it was
that is actually kind of amazing. I like am sort of obsessed. You know that happened to a friend of mine who's not a public person who like got sent like champagne or something in her hotel room, and fully in the reflection of the champagne bucket was like her vagina. She was fresh out of the shower.
Oh, Lord.
And was just like, she was like literally fresh out of the shower and was like so excited about this delivery of champagne that she took a picture and she didn't realize that she was just like fully, like you could just see her fucking vag. And she like actually reached out to me because she was just like, I feel like you know how to handle things. And I was like, you know what? Who fucking cares? Like,
yeah,
honestly, you took it down. If anyone, first of all, I saw her post. I like saw it and didn't notice the vagina.
Right.
Like, I just was like, oh, she got champagne. She loves champagne.
Yeah.
So, then she took it down and then reached out to me. And I was like, first of all, I didn't notice the vag. A lot of people are just like clicking through.
It was like a funhouse vag, maybe.
Yes, it was a funhouse vag. I was like, you could also, you can see who saw it. Like, is there anyone that you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God? And she's like, well, like my mom and my cousin.
Your mom's
and I was
seen
like,
your vag for sure.
For sure, your mother's seen your vag. Also, number two, like it's probable that your cousin just like flipped through it too. And also like, just get it out of your head. Who cares? It's over. It's done. You deleted it. We all have bodies. Like, it's just, we have to just, we got to move on.
You got to move on.
You can't, when those fucking insane, embarrassing things happen. I get it. I've been there. I've had real embarrassing shit happen to me with my body, with my like exposing myself, like whatever you do on accident, you just got to move on.
You got to move on.
Because there's nothing else you can do.
There's nothing you can do. And then like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Like 8 years from now at Thanksgiving dinner, your cousin's going to be like, remember when you post a picture of your vag on Instagram? And then you know what? They're the weird one because they're the weird cousin that thought about your vag for the past 8 years. So
exactly.
It's not on you. It's not on you.
Not on you.
You just deleted it and moved on.
Oh my God. But wait, is she horrified? Is she okay?
No,
Angela?
she was laughing. I think Jenna is the one that told her maybe, but she said that Josh is never going to let her live it down. She actually reposted it with like a little emoji covering the part where her butt was reflected in the toilet roll holder. And I was like, I mean, I just sent her a message and was like, your butt is great. Like,
she's got a great butt.
I love your butt.
Good for that butt.
But it did make me laugh because, I mean, this is a thing that I've seen happen to Real Housewives countless times. Real Housewives are like, multiple times have posted nips and vages accidentally in the reflection of like whatever it is, a salad container, a television screen, whatever. And by the way, like all of my years on Watch What Happens Live, a huge part of my job was to make sure no one flashed their vag on live television because, short dresses, high chairs.
Remember when that was like a thing that paparazzi were like trying to do?
Yes.
Ugh,
Get like
gross.
an up. I mean, of course you remember. You remember Anne Hathaway with Matt Lauer asking her.
Sorry, I was trying to find the Angela Kinsey thing.
Oh my God. You remember Matt Lauer asking Anne Hathaway about her like upskirt pap shot and how horrible that was? If you haven't seen that clip, go back and watch it. The fact that anyone thought that was like a normal thing to do on morning television, like chat where someone's just trying to come and talk about their movie that they're in, and you wind up talking about like their vagina. It was so fucked up. It was supremely fucked up.
But also, like, in the like vein of hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was
we're
like
trying
a
to get
sit down. It was like a sit down.
We're trying to get to the bottom of how ashamed you should be, Anne, that someone stuck a camera there. Like, I could never, I don't know. I could never imagine a world where
Matt Lauer wasn't a fucking creep.
Yeah, well, that too. But just I could never imagine a world where you wouldn't be like, oh, let me save someone some embarrassment. Let me crop this photo. But I guess, that's not where we were.
We were not there.
We were not there yet. We were looking to capture people's not greatest moments. And, now we have TikTok for that, I guess. We get to see everyone's wild moments, even if they're not famous.
I don't know. What do you mean?
I use
TikTok for other things.
Yeah. TikTok, I think, thinks that I'm very interested in seeing like someone have a meltdown at Bath and Body Works or whatever.
I just saw the Angela post. It's really funny.
It made
just
me laugh
the emoji.
so hard.
Well, listen. You know what?
It made me laugh so hard, and I'm glad she had a good sense of humor about it.
That's the only way to be about that. Because like you just,
And again, it's not like you just posted like, a raw nude of yourself. Like if it's reflected in something, then, you didn't post your vagina or your butt. You posted the reflection of your vagina or butt. And
you weren't looking for because you're not into your own vagina and butt.
Exactly. And you were focused on the thing that you were focused on, the champagne, the toilet paper, whatever.
Good Lord. Anyway, what are you doing your best at this week?
What am I doing my best at this week? Well, it was my husband's birthday this week. And
happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday to Matt, the best. I didn't do my best at like organizing anything for him. I asked him what he wanted because I think we just have to do that now. Just ask people what they want. And like, unless you really, really know for sure that someone's like heart would sing if they were surprised, I think you just have to ask in this day and age. And so what he said was, I'd love to see a few people, but it's like still hard to go to restaurants or whatever. Because, we're just in this cycle of endless pandemics of various types of diseases. So I was like, okay, let's invite a few people over and have like a cookout, whatever, just keep it simple. So that's what I did, but not a lot of people because I was like, I don't want to fill up the backyard and make everyone feel nervous. But then people canceled and I was like really sweating it. I was like, oh my God, we are going to be sitting here with 80 hot dogs and hamburgers.
Maraschino cherries.
But maraschino cherries all over. Again. And also the birthday party I threw for Matt where I like bought out a 20-person table at a restaurant in Manhattan and literally 18 people canceled. I had to call people that we hadn't invited in the first place and ask them if they wanted to go to a fancy dinner. God. Like, can you imagine the weirdness? It sent me right back. And by the way, that time and this time, everybody had really valid reasons for not coming. One friend had COVID. One friend had a death in the family. One friend was traveling, things like that. But it just put me right back in that place and I was really sweating it. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do if no one shows up to this party? I felt like Mary Tyler Moore. If you watched Mary Tyler Moore when you were a little kid, you know how nervous she was to like throw a party, the Veal Prince Orloff incident. You can go back and watch it. But anyway, our friends Ben and Julie showed up, and then I instantly felt better. And then it was nice because everybody came when they could, and they came sort of in shifts. But I saw a lot of our friends. Our friend Nelzo's came. Once he came, that's all. That will make Matt happy. You know, those two. One time we drove to San Francisco together, and Matt made a 5-hour playlist of music that like he knew that he and Nelzos would both love. And we never got to the playlist because those two just talked the whole time, like just chatterbox the whole time to San Francisco for 5 hours. So once Nelzos came, everything was fine. Then BB showed up. And then
Beebs!
The Beebs showed up. My friend Mike Leipart, who's a fan of yours, showed up. And I'm a fan of Mike Leipart's. He's the funniest non-entertainment professional I know. And then Keisha came with her husband Andrew. Ashley
Nice.
Nicole Black came. It was like a perfect mix of a handful of people arriving in shifts. And everybody ate hamburgers and hot dogs and Impossible Burgers. And everybody was lovely. And it was such a fucking relief because I was like, oh my God, if I have to just sit here with mountains of hamburgers and hot dogs, just looking at my husband being like, I failed you again on another birthday. But he was delightful. And, it was a real roller coaster. And then I got him a gift that I thought was something that was really thoughtful that he really wanted, but it's the wrong thing. And
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so we have to return it, but like the right thing is on back order till October. And so it's just been a real exercise in like embracing the imperfectness and patience and like, just hanging in there and being like, if no one shows up for this fucking backyard barbecue, everybody has their reasons and it will be okay, But my kids were joking around about, they were like pre-writing one of those like Facebook posts about our dad. None of our dad's friends showed up for his. Have you seen those like on social media when people are like, no one came to my grandpa's 100th birthday party and, can you wish him a happy birthday? So my kids were like, well, we can always do one of those sympathetic social media posts to get people to wish dad a happy birthday. But our friends came in the end. So except for, people who couldn't for very good reasons.
Yeah. Wow.
But, it's just like, it's just one of those things. And I'm an anxious person. And so I really felt that anxiety. And then I really had to, just let it go because you can't make it be any different. You can't, you can't change what's about to happen, or, you can't change that, like, you got the wrong thing. And when they open it, they're like, oh, this is so nice. Oh, it's the wrong thing. I'm glad he told me instead of pretending, but it's just one of those things. And I think that's good. And then, the party wound up like all good parties with like a handful of people sitting outdoors, talking about hallucinogens and, their thoughts on that. That's always my favorite party ender.
Wait. Do we have to be concerned about monkeypox?
I think that it's good to be cautious about monkeypox.
But what does that mean? I don't get it.
Well, I think we know that it's I believe spread by person-to-person contact, but also airborne, and also that it can live on surfaces for like a great many days. So I think like I wouldn't be like trying on clothes in a store right now, and I would just be trying to be cautious, like keeping your hands clean and away from your face and still continuing to wear a mask in public. But yeah, I think so far the handling of it isn't great. If you feel like you need to get vaccinated for it, if you can find a vaccine, that's probably a smart thing to do. It's not fatal in most cases, right? Monkeypox, but it is really painful and terrible and probably just sets you up for an illness that hospitals are probably not well equipped to handle right now. So I think like avoiding it is pretty important while also not stigmatizing the gay community, because that's where it's having like a moment. Monkeypox is having a moment in the gay community, and that's a weird situation, right? The way that we talk about it and the way that, you know, the way that we handle it or don't handle it at all. Oh,
Hold on one second. I gotta show this guy my ID so I can get some real fucking alcohol up in here.
so anyway, monkeypox, I think I'm mostly worried about how we're handling it and not handling it.
I gotta say, it sounds an awful lot like the horrific hand, foot, and mouth disease that Birdie had in kindergarten.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean,
Which was, it's gotta be in the same family, right?
I mean, I would.
It has to be. All those poxes.
I mean, people curse people with a pox upon your house for a reason. But yeah, I just think we need to be careful and conscientious and encourage people who are like out there breathing and touching, you know, no matter for whatever reason, to like get that vaccine if they can, if it's being offered. You know, I think that like the entire thing with COVID and choosing to get vaccinated or not vaccinated to protect myself, but also because like any illness that I'm like, well, it's survivable for me if I'm healthy, whatever, blah, 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 has the potential to be devastating to someone who is disabled or elderly. And it's just not something that, you know, I can roll the dice on. So, you know, I live a pretty cloistered life with the exception of the odd birthday backyard barbecue where everybody's tested negative before coming.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I'm sorry. It's exhausting. I'm sorry. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, will I probably not get vaccinated until they're super readily available and people who need it more than I do? Busy's like just clinking her glass, her ice.
Well, also it's like a little bit like, guys, why didn't the wine come cold that I ordered online? Like they're not idiots. They know that I need it now. It's 6 p.m. Like what fucking wine store doesn't look at my order of 3 bottles of rosé? And it's not all for right now, guys. I just I didn't have any
supplies.
in the house.
Yeah.
It's a supply, but who didn't look at like my 5:30 p.m. order of rosé and not just say like, you know what, throw in one cold for that person. Throw in one cold for that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would, you know, that is not 5 stars, sir.
Well, you got some ice in there. You got your rosé. What are you doing your best at this
Not
week?
a goddamn thing. Nothing. Not
what?
one.
That's not true.
No, it's true.
That's not true.
It's not true.
You have like rosé colored hair.
I just dyed my hair, yeah, in the bathroom when I got here. Because I saw it. And I was like, hey, there's a thing I could do. I don't know what I'm doing my best at. I'm trying to continue to do hard things that are hard for me. And be a grown up about it. I'm trying my best to parent in the way that I want to parent. I'm trying to remember to use the Hoffman things that I learned a year ago when I'm overwhelmed by a lot of things. I'm trying to stay engaged and focused in the different political battles being waged across our country. Kansas is voting today. We'll know by the time this podcast comes out, probably. They're voting on basically a near total abortion ban.
Right.
So we'll know about that. I have thoughts about what I feel like needs to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like, I was in South Carolina, and my friend Sarah Frick, who testified before the state Congress, had this like get together with like the largest reproductive justice organization that works in South Carolina. And then her friend, who's the doctor, who was her doctor, who Dr. Natalie Gregory, who also testified. I posted it on my feed because I just thought that last sentence to the state representative was like so incredible, which was her saying like, I might be the one covered in blood, but the blood will be on your hands.
Wow.
Which was like,
yeah,
really a fucking intense line that like she said in response to a question. It wasn't like a line she had like come up with. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
She like, because she was specifically talking about how her ability to make these like life and death decisions are being called into question and hampered now in hospital settings with people. And, you know, it's interesting. Like my friends at Whole Women's Health reached out to me. I posted about that yesterday because they're having a hard time meeting their goal of moving their clinic.
Right.
And, you know, my fear is fatigue for everyone. Like my fear is like, it's the next big disaster is coming along, or the next thing to laugh at, or the next picture of Bradley Cooper. You know what I mean? Like whatever it may be.
Right.
But like there's just it's a lot of and it's dispersed and it's state by state, you know? And I met a really incredible woman who's running in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to talk to her on the podcast.
Yeah.
But she's a doctor, and she's just like a mom and a doctor, and is like, yeah, this is not great, guys. We got to do something about this. And I feel like somebody listening right now is going to think about running. Yeah. I do. I feel like one of you guys out there who's doing something somewhere that's not involved in politics, but I feel like someone out there that's listening right now should run for something.
Yeah.
So my friend Sarah had this get together and it was real small. It was just like some women that are in her community, in her immediate community, who are want to get more involved or asking how to and what to do. And Sarah really wanted me to be there, obviously, because I work in this space on a national level, and I'm not from South Carolina. I mean, I love it there. I've worked there. I'm from Arizona, which is another state where abortion is on a thin line. Anyway, it was empowering to hear that these women are we want to continue to be involved, you know?
Right.
And one of her friends, Kate, this is really sweet, rad girl who's I don't think of it as a marathon or a sprint. I think of it as a relay. And I was that's honestly fucking amazing. That's such a great way to think about it. And when you think about who's been carrying the baton for so long, you know, and the Black women in our country who've been shouldering such responsibility for the state of reproductive justice, and you can carry the baton and not take over and think that you're winning the race.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can all taking turns in terms of how best can you figure out a way to show up in your own communities for reproductive justice and for the people who need it the most. And like that was actually like a really interesting conversation and something that I want to talk to my friends at like the bigger orgs about, which is like, you know, there's a part of this bill in South Carolina that would make search history, like call into question search history on your browser.
Right.
Like, and would make websites helping you access abortion like illegal to look at. And I mean, that should be terrifying to anyone.
Right. That's straight up fascism.
I mean, that should be fucking terrifying to anyone, to the most Republican amongst us. But it's not, they're not seeing that line. It's so weird. I mean, and it's not the thing, like I'm so over like the cruelty is the point, the hypocrisy is what it is. Like, it's fucking enough. Like they're having like another special hearing before they vote in South Carolina. And they didn't, without telling him the GOP, like whatever, head of the special committee in South Carolina, like state legislature, like they released the sign up for, if you like, anyone should be able, like in the way that the government works there or whatever, like they have to have an open thing where people can like voice their concerns, right?
Yeah.
Like on the state level, right? Like you're supposed to be able to hear from constituents.
Yeah, like a public hearing. Yeah.
It's a public hearing. But they like released, without telling anyone that they were going to, well, no, that's not true. They opened up the like signups for the the last public hearing that they're having, but they only emailed their voters. Sure. Like the Republican voters. Sure. And they cut it off at 100. Sure. So by the time anyone...
So it's not a public hearing. It's
not a public hearing.
A carefully and unfairly curated hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was talking to this, this person that works at the reproductive justice like organization, and they were like, I'm going to go to like this particular congressman's. I'm going to go to his Harris Teeter. Like I'm going to go to his church. I'm going to go where he's eating with people who are willing to like come with me and tell him, because he's unable to hear from his constituents. He needs to be able to hear from them. Right. And that's the thing where I'm like, I am so in full support of that thing, like where people are like, you can't bother people where they're eating at Mastro's Steakhouse. It's like, guys, they work for us. Right. Also, and I said this to my friend, I was like, if you're in one of these states, guys, you can call and email and ask for a one-on-one with your representative. Yeah. You can ask for a meeting. Anyone can ask for a meeting. And you can continue to ask for meetings because they work for you. Right. And not that it's going to like change anything, because this is not, again, this isn't even about fucking abortion. Right. Like for these people. Right. But not losing the momentum is important. Paying attention to what's happening in these different states is important. Yes. And not zoning out because it's just like all too much is important. And it also really struck me in talking to these women how we need to start, like, I mean, it already exists in lots of different places, but all of us, I'm just saying, like every one of us listening needs to start understanding that information is power.
Yeah.
And you need to arm yourself with as much information as you can now.
Yeah.
Because if that gets taken away via the internet.
Right.
And I mean like fucking old school. Like I literally said to my friend today from South Carolina, I was like, here are the places you're going to go right now and you're going to print out this shit. And
Right.
You're going to have it. And like, I know that seems extreme, but like, this is extreme.
This is it.
This is it. And I know that's like, I just am like, write down the fucking phone numbers. Like,
Right.
Write down the information.
Right.
Get all, have people that you can call and who have the information.
Right.
Make fucking pamphlets, literal zines. Guys, we're talking zines.
Right.
About abortion. Because the other thing too, like, when our pro-choice groups and everybody are asking us like, don't, they're saying like, don't use coat hanger imagery, don't use like bloody like pants and hemorrhaging and dying imagery, because it doesn't actually change these people's minds, like these people who are on this track. But what it does, or it could do, is scare someone who needs abortion care into trying to safely get the abortion that they need, right?
Right.
And because we can actually provide a path for safe, illegal abortion, like that's the truth.
Right.
Is that it's a different time than it was in the 50s and 60s. Like, baby's dad doesn't need to save the dancer at the fucking Poconos Club because, like, you don't have to, like, go to some fucking illegal doctor in the back of an alley or whatever whatever was going on, like, in the 50s and 60s. And that shit was real. Like, that really
was
fucking
real.
happened.
That really happened.
That was a real fucking thing that happened. But that is not the state of abortion now, whether or not you live in a place that says it's legal for you to get one. Right. There are ways in which you can safely get abortion care, even if you live in a state that says it's illegal, and there are funds that can help people who need the funds. Right. And can help provide childcare and can help provide like all kinds of things. Right. But we have to be able to get the information, and also, of course, medical abortions and pills and abortion pills. Right. But we have to be able to get the information to those people. Right. And it might not be online. Right.
Well, you said something so smart, and it's so basic, and I'm sure cliche at this point. Information is power. So what I also want to point out is that when you have information, you're powerful. Use it powerfully. Power is not polite. So when you hear someone saying something that's not true, like your niece on Facebook or, someone at the office, it might be polite to just bite your tongue and be like, I know what they're saying is not true. But if you have the correct information, if you know your shit, share that information, because that is how we're going to have to do things going forward. And you don't have to be rude. You don't have to like call someone out and embarrass someone. There is a great deal of power in saying, hey, actually, I heard what you're saying. That's not exactly true. And, I've been paying a lot of attention to this because it's very important to me. So let me explain to you the way that it actually is. Just do that. The more that we do that, the more that we can and I'm talking to like our listeners to like gently be able to share what we know, what we've learned over this time. It's important because a lot of people have been doing a lot of the work all along, and they can only do so much. And so, we have to be the boots on the ground.
And also, and this was like such a clear thing for me in South Carolina, like, enough with these fucking men. I'm so over it. I'm so fucking over it. I'm so over it. Yeah. I'm so over the fact that Mark he doesn't really post on Instagram. I know he's like vocal about it, but like if I were Mark, I would be like, I only have this life.
Right.
I only have the life I have and these fucking kids because fuck. I know he thinks that.
Right.
But if I were him, I would be fucking shouting it all the time.
Right.
I would like for once to see a fucking straight cis white dude wearing a fucking I will aid and abet abortion t-shirt. That's what I would like to see.
Right.
I would love it if I could see that become a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask. Because everyone has aided and abetted everything that has put these men in the position that they're in to be so powerful, and they're, you know, they need to step up. Men need to step up. And by the way, if you're a guy and you have that t-shirt and you've worn it, that's amazing. We're not talking about you. We're talking about like
Hashtag not all white women.
hashtag not all
Right? Like
hashtag not all men. You know?
Whatever. Like, yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like, but that's also where, like, you know, we had like a fucking real conversation at my friend's house about like one reason why white women suck is because they know what their husband's politics are for whatever reason. Oh, he's liberal. Oh, he's you know, he's socially totally liberal,
right.
but he is fiscally conservative. And
right.
It's like about our bottom line and it's about our taxes and whatever. And like, this is a different moment in time. This is not Reagan era, like fiscally conservative Republicans, which by the way, it was a lie. Like it all has been a lie.
That's the height of laziness, by the way, to never, if you love your money so much, check the actual digits. Check your money.
What I said, do you remember, this is in my book, you know what I said to my ex-boyfriend and his brother when they sold that script and had taken my name off of it? And they were so desperate and they just wanted to do a thing. And like,
yeah.
They were fully gaslighty about my involvement in it and then took my name off of it and then were further gaslighty or whatever.
Yeah.
And they sold the script because it was a good fucking idea because I had it. And and you know what I said to him, which I was proud, again, it was like Dr. Natalie Gregory, like sometimes you come up with a line in the moment and you really do have to sit and think like, oh, this is a fucking good line. And like, this will be a line I'll remember for the rest of my life. Like, guys, what are your lines? I want to hear them. Maybe we start that thread. Can we start that? Can we do that?
Yeah,
this is our question for this week's pod. Like, what is the line that you in real life, like, don't fucking exaggerate it. Like, to give me the actual line and I'll believe you. Because sometimes fucking lines come to you like just like lightning, you know? And I asked him how much they were getting for the script. And I said, well, I guess it's good that you know how much someone is worth. That's like a thing I'll never know, I guess, right? Like, well, that's interesting. So I guess you have to hold that number in your heart.
I mean, that's what we're talking about.
That is like literally what we're talking about in terms of these people who are like holding onto some fucking antiquated idea about like a tax break. Like, well, I guess now you can say to your person or the people in your life or your brother-in-law or your uncle or your dad or whatever, like, just so you know that tax savings that you are going to get, that's what a person is worth to you. So you hold that in your heart and enjoy your boat.
Right. My dogs are barking and I'm home alone, so there's no one to shush them. It doesn't
Birdie!
Birdie is also my dog's name. And Millie.
Yeah, did you guys know that?
Birdie.
People knew that.
I think so. Yeah.
Fly by Cing. Fly by Cing.
This is yet another advertiser that when they came on board, I was so excited because in my pantry, there were already several Fly by Jing products.
They are incredible. Incredible. It's okay. So Fly by Jing is the first modern Chinese food company in America, and it's put spicy chili crisp on the map. First of all, spicy chili crisp, a thing I've loved. I don't even know how long, but it is so delicious. I will put that on ice cream. I'm not even kidding you.
No, it's good on ice cream.
No, it really isn't.
Yeah, vanilla ice cream with the chili crunch on it.
Okay, now I have to do it. Now
it's a good thing. Yeah.
Now I have to do it. Guys, it's incredible. All of the ingredients are 100% vegan, all natural, non-GMO, and it literally tastes good on everything. Get on board now so that you can be the cool one that's like
at the table that's like, put this
guys,
on your...
Actually, I've been using Fly by Jing since like early 2021, 2022. Yeah. That's me. That's me.
You know what else I love? Fly by Jing is a female-founded company, which you know is so important to us. Jing Gao founded the company in 2018, inspired by...
She's so cool.
She's so cool. She was inspired by the flavors of her hometown, Chengdu, and its famous fly restaurants, soulful hole-in-the-wall eateries, so good that they attract diners like flies.
So I'm just asking you, are you guys ready to step up your game, elevate your favorite recipes? I think you are. I think you are. Get 15% off your entire order at flybyjing.com/busy or use code busy at the checkout. That's FLYBYJING.com/busy for 15% off your first order. You can also find Fly by Jing at over 2,500 locations across the country, including, Costco, Whole Foods, Target, and Wegmans.
Thank you, Fly by Jing.
Thank you, Fly by Jing. We love you. BetterHelp. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Guys, this is what we're going to talk about right now. So BetterHelp is a customized online therapy that offers video, phone, or even live chat sessions with your therapist. But what we're going to talk to you about is like a thing we're talking about on the podcast today, which is burnout.
Right.
Lack of motivation, feeling helpless, feeling trapped, detachment, fatigue. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to even move forward. A lot of times people associate burnout with just like their work, their 9 to 5. That's not it.
It can happen in any area of your life.
It can happen in parenting. It can happen in feeling like what's going on in this country. I'm burned out. I can't move forward. I can't move. I don't even know.
Right.
But talking with someone can help you figure out like how to handle that stress and how to move forward, honestly.
Yeah. I really appreciate BetterHelp just because of the ease of use. You know, this is something that I talk about all the time. Like the amount of effort I have to put into getting an appointment with someone and going through the process of like onboarding to have my first appointment is a huge barrier to entry for me. So the fact that BetterHelp is so easy to use, so simple, and just painless for me is it's a huge deal for me.
It's also more affordable than in-person therapy.
Right.
And like if you want to, guys, you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. And I echo your sentiments, Caissie. Like it's a barrier for a lot of people. Like I get it. I understand. Like if you're feeling stagnant or like I don't even know where to begin. I mean, this is why I feel like we said yes to partnering with BetterHelp.
Yeah.
For this podcast, because you just have to start. You know what I mean?
Right. And they really can help, and they can do it quickly.
And they can do it quickly, and they will make it easy for you. They will make it easy. They will take it all the guesswork out of it, and they will match you with a therapist. Okay. Busy Phillips is doing her best. Listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/busy. That's better, like BetterHelp.com/busy, and you're going to get 10% off your first month. Guys, I'm just saying, if you've been thinking like, oh, I really should get a therapist, I really should talk to someone, this is it. This is it. I just am like, I'm really feeling like we gotta stay focused on these elections. And even just whatever, Biden sucks. Fine. Okay, fine. What do you want? What do you fucking want?
Right.
What do you want him to do? Like, dude, is the whole system fucked? For sure.
For sure.
We know this.
Yes.
We've seen it in action. But you know what Biden is doing that's not getting a lot of press? And by the way, we shouldn't give it a lot of press, is he made like 8 judge appointments, like circuit judge appointments that are going to have to be approved. But like, these are, it's like the first LGBTQIA person to be put on an appellate court. It's like, I'm doing this off the top of my head, guys. So if I'm wrong, you know what? You're going to have to just forgive me and look it up yourself. Do your own research. The first AAPI woman, I believe, to be nominated to one of the circuit courts, and Julie Reichelman, who is actually the lawyer that argued the Dobbs case brilliantly, was nominated to the first circuit court in the Northeast. And that's going to be hard for her to be confirmed, because the other side has a really difficult they have a difficult time understanding that Julie Reichelman will be able to do her job impartially.
She'll adjudicate to the letter of the law.
She will. And they have a hard time believing that to be true, because it is not true when they shoehorn in judges.
Which we've
now seen
writ large on the Supreme Court.
And all kinds of other places.
And all kinds of other places. But it is like our friend Melissa from the States Project told us when she came on the podcast, it happens so much on a local level, and it happens in areas where you think this seat is not a big deal. There are seats going unopposed. There are seats that are up for grabs that seemingly no one's interested in. So I hope what you said is true, Busy. I hope that someone listening to the podcast looks into their local offices that have elections upcoming and says, why not me? Why not me?
And at least maybe you start thinking about it for in a year from now or whatever.
Right.
It's just, why not?
Yeah.
Fucking why not you? These dudes are so out of touch and so insane.
Yeah. My son one time told me this fact. Both my kids are pretty politically active, and they volunteer, and more so than I. And my son told me this thing one time, that women generally need to be told 7 times that they should run for something before they'll consider it. Whereas compared to a man, maybe someone just tells them one time and they're like, okay, this is it, I'm doing it. And I just think that was so interesting, and it will always stick with me. So I think we've probably said it 7 times within the space of this podcast to any of you listening. You don't have to have aspirations to become the president of the United States one day. You don't have to be an attorney. You don't have to have any particular area of expertise necessarily. You just have to have an interest in serving the public where you live locally.
And problem solving and critical thinking.
Problem solving and like tenacity and standing the fuck up to people that are trying to get away with nefarious shit. And you know what? So many of you gave money to the giving circles from the States Project. So many of you started giving circles. That was incredible. And that's a huge thing too. It's unbelievable, honestly, the amount of money that you guys raised.
Are you getting robbed right now? Like, is someone in your home?
No, they're barking at Fudgy Mochi Munchie. Because
Fudgy's gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gina got attacked.
She did? What?
She's fine, you guys.
What happened?
First of all, the podcast is just starting. We're hour 2. Can we cut out? We got to cut out. I don't know what we're going to do. Guys, I'm trying. I'm fucking trying.
We're not supposed to talk.
This is what I'm trying my best.
We're not supposed to talk about the length of the podcast anymore.
Cut it out. Anyway, wait, listen. So, okay, first of all, I didn't even tell you, Gina was so fucking mad at me. I've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Gina
was like, absolutely not. Fuck you, bitch. Bye. And has been giving me, we already knew this. She's a drama queen.
Yeah.
She always has been. And bless her heart, I hope she always will be because I love it about her. I get it. I get that she's like, I'm gonna just like make you feel like shit for leaving me, even though I was very well taken care of and cuddled and loved and fed and played with. And my life was like a delight while you were gone. Now that you're back, I'm gonna like narrow my eyes at you a little bit. I'm gonna like I'm gonna bark at you a little bit, make you work for it.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, we got back from LA and this whole fucking thing, I can't. It was just like Birdie and I were in LA because Birdie worked on With Love and I actually am on With Love this season too, as well as the mother of Birdie's character, Charlie, which was fun. I had one scene. I loved it. It was really fun. Birdie did not love it and didn't love working with me, and that's fine. And also, I did not love working with Birdie. But
so you're not going to be applying at Sephora?
No, I'm not. But like also it was just fraught because I don't know. I like had debated it anyway. Like Gloria was like, we have the mom part. We would love it if you would do it. Like, would you want to do a cameo and be the mom of Charlie? If you don't, like, whatever. And I said to Gloria, which was true, I was like, I have to just like ask Birdie how they feel about it because they have to like live with me being their moms so much, like all the time, that if that feels weird or gross or whatever. And like, I don't know, but Birdie, it ebbs and flows. That when I asked Birdie was like, oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah.
And then we like both were PMSing. And it was
synced up.
It wasn't finally after 2 years. I pulled that cycle over to mine. I'm the alpha uterus. Me. Anyway, get on the moon cycle, Birdie. Anyway, got Birdie on the moon cycle. Thank God. So we're like both like PMSing or just getting our periods, and Birdie was just like, "Ew, I don't want you here. I don't want you to be my mom. I don't want like bad mood vibes, not great. Plus, we've already had the like disappointment of the
Sweden
coming home early, and then the disappointment of Sweden. We talked about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we've had a roller coaster.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, and then, you know this, and guys, you're listening and you're like, and I'm with you. And then, I oft would take my children to Disneyland, and I would get one of those guides that would like kind of just help you skip to the front of the line, because for a few reasons. Number one, I hate lines. Number two, I'm like really bad at waiting in lines, because I hate them. Number 3, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to wait in line. It's just not going to happen. But because frugality, life, etc., this time when we were in LA, I was like, it's not happening, kid. Like, we're not getting a gut. I'm not doing the whole thing. It's like, no.
Right.
And Birdie was real fucking bummed about it, which I understand. You're allowed to be disappointed about things, but also like, that's fucking life, like whatever. And by the way, I was like, you can still go to Disneyland with your friends. I'm just not getting this fancy thing and we're not doing it. That's not how it's working this time.
Right.
That will be like a special trip at some point in the future. Maybe. Anyway. And guys, also, by the way, full disclosure, I haven't paid for it that much. I've done like Instagram trades.
Right. I've gotten
You know
it
what I mean?
I've gotten it for working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is that like, if you do have to pay for it, it's like for very wealthy people and it's exorbitantly expensive. And I'm sure my new business managers are going to tell me never again. I have paid for it a few times, but also I have done like Instagram trades and like gotten it as a perk and like done whatever, which by the way is still work. Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm not trying to justify anything to you. You guys like me. The point being, Birdie was already annoyed at me about that, then the working thing and the period. And it was just like a lot. So then we get back. Gina's like so mad at me.
Yeah.
She's barely looking me in the eye. I'm like cuddling her. I'm like putting my face in her fur. I'm like loving her. I'm like not letting her lick my mouth because I'm not disgusting. But everything else, I'm just like, love you. I love you. And we were supposed to leave the next fucking day to go down to Charleston.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't leave this dog. I can't do it. I literally, my heart is broken. She's pretending like I don't exist. Like, I am her mother and I don't know what to do. And so Blake was like, sweet Blake was like, I volunteer as tribute. I will drive Gina to South Carolina.
Wow.
Guys, you know what, Raymond Padilla? Hope you're listening. Did you make it? No, I'm kidding. But like, literally, Blake was like, NBD, I can do it in one day.
Yeah, we know this is part of Blake's, like, part of Blake's character. He's driven Gina long distances before.
He drove Gina across the country.
Yeah, something Blake does not mind doing.
They have a bond.
Yeah.
Anyway, once Blake agreed or didn't agree, once Blake offered generously because he saw the turmoil my heart was in, I was like, great. Okay, so Birdie and I flew down to South Carolina, but I was in such a shitty mood.
Yeah.
Also, I was in like the shitty mood that I had been holding for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With my kid because, and here's the thing, guys. I know that thing like, pick your hard. Being married is hard. Being divorced is hard. Pick your hard. Whatever. Everything is hard. Life is fucking hard. And I was kind of a dick. Like when I got to South Carolina, I was just like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything. I don't even really want to be here. I'm only here because I had agreed to this many, many moons ago. And I haven't seen Cricket. I haven't seen my baby in the longest period that I've ever not seen her.
Right.
It was almost 2 weeks.
Right.
And I couldn't bear the thought of like going another 5 days, 6 days without seeing her because they're not coming back till tomorrow. So I was like, once the Gina of it all got figured out, I was like, I have to see Cricket. I was going anyway.
Yeah.
I was never not going to go see Cricket and be there.
But you embraced
and bring
it.
Birdie there. But I really embraced it because Gina was showing up. But I was just like immediately in a bad fucking mood, annoyed at like Mark and my non-separation separation.
Yeah.
Like I was just immediately like, why am I doing this? Like I was like so pissy and rude. But turns out one of Blake's roommates had a bachelorette party in Charleston that she wanted to go to, but then she thought she had a job, so she canceled her flight. But then her job got canceled, like a production job.
Yeah.
And so then she was like, wait, I could go with you and go to this, my best friend's bachelorette party, or like one of my best friends from college's bachelorette party. So she drove down with Blake.
Okay.
And she's like this adorable 26-year-old girl who wants to work in film.
Okay.
This is actually why I brought it up.
Okay.
And I'm sure like at some point Blake had explained, so Simran, my friend Simran, who's like the executive producer and writer on that Manifest show, who's been like a writer for 15 years. And then Mark and I are both there in South Carolina. And so I'm sure at some point Blake had explained like, oh, you know, this is what Busy and Mark do, whatever.
Yeah.
But she didn't know what Simran did, whatever. She came over to say hi, to hang out with us. And the kids like all fell in love with her, of course. She's like a cool babysitter vibe girl.
Yeah.
And then we like started hanging out and talking, and she was like telling us like, she literally was like, I want to direct movies. She's young. She's a woman of color. She's like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And she was like, but I just want to be clear. Like, I'm not even going to like direct my first movie until I'm like 40. Like, I get it. And I was like, whoa. Gonna need you to stop right now. Why would you wait until you're 40 to direct your first movie? And she's like, because I get it. Like, I have to learn. I got to know. I was like, you don't have to know shit. Fucking do it now.
Yeah.
I was like, do you think any white dude ever has been like, I got to wait until I'm 40 to do anything except maybe get married and have children? But like, I was like,
absolutely not.
No, I was like, it's not a fucking thing, girl. Like, do your shit. Like, make it happen. Get your shit together, whatever. And she's like, but I don't know. You know, I was like, okay. But I'm just telling you, that is like, I remember feeling the same way. I have to be an expert to do
Gotta pay my dues.
I have to pay my dues. Oh, it's okay. I have to write this movie with my boyfriend. I can't possibly do something on my own. Like, guess what? They will take your name off the script. They will fucking sell you out. Like, you have to just go for it. So anyone who's listening, who's like, I can't possibly run for office because I don't know X, Y, Z. No one knows anything about anything. And the only downfall of like certain things that are really present and seemingly gender-based because of the patriarchy, like inherent in us, is an idea that like in order to, we have to be perfect, have to have all the knowledge, have to know what the fuck we're doing, have to like, these motherfuckers don't know shit. All I'm saying is that if you are listening right now, I want you to run for office. Every single fucking one of you. Every one of you.
School board, city council.
I want you in there.
State representatives.
You loud. I want you fucking vocal. I want you starting your own. I just heard about a lady, one of my friends in South Carolina, and she was like, fuck it. And she started her own super PAC.
Amazing.
She researched it, figured it out, and started her own fucking liberal super PAC. You know, super PACs are like the ways that Republicans donate more money to their candidates, guys.
Right.
Because normally there's a cap on the amount that individuals can give to a certain candidate, but you can give a way larger amount to a super PAC because they are supposed to spread that money out. But generally speaking, they don't. They just like throw it at one candidate. Right?
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
my rudimentary idea of what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's right.
I think,
guys, I went to 2 years of college. It's all good. Anyway, but my point being, like, this lady fucking researched how to start a super PAC and was like, well, fuck that. I'm just going to start my own super PAC.
Right.
Like, whatever it is, you don't have to be an expert. You don't even have to know. You're just going to, what you're going to do right now, is you're just going to do it. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. There's amazing organizations, by the way, that help women figure out what they should run for and how they can do it. So, you know, they're out there.
She runs, run for something. Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't even care about that. Let's get to that later.
Yeah.
You just need to know that anything that is in your brain that is like saying to you in like a little tiny voice, like, oh, but you don't know the lens type to use on a camera when you want to get the shot that looks like wide. So you need to learn that fuck it. The guys don't know either. That's why you hire a good DP. This is all I'm saying is that any of us need to pursue these things as if we are fucking experts already in the field, because that is what white men have been doing for generations and generations and generations and generations and generations. And they're not experts in the field. They can't even find the fucking clitoris. You know what I mean? So like, we have to take this power back. This is our moment. This is our moment. You know what I'm doing my best at this week?
What?
Inspiring. I am doing my best this week at inspiring others to act.
Just to act, to get it going.
Guys, that's it. That's all I'm doing this weekend. I don't even give a fuck. Like, I am just
calling it.
I'm calling it.
This is your fucking moment.
This is your moment.
Who's going to say it's not?
No one. And by the way, when they do, if they do, fuck that guy.
Right. That's, yeah. Don't literally fuck him.
Annie, no. Well, maybe.
I mean,
you might,
if you want
it might
to.
Be hot. It might be hot. It might be hot.
Listen,
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes a hate fuck is the best kind of fuck you can have.
But don't feel like you have to fuck that guy, but like also symbolically fuck that guy.
Yeah, no. Very much so symbolically fuck that guy. But also, like, if you end up fucking him, you're like, it's fine. I have there's no shame there.
Yeah.
I have no judgment.
It's not the
that.
end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. No, but I'm on a real tear.
You're on a tear.
I'm on a tear.
Well, it looks good on you.
I just think that the point is that they want us to be exhausted and sad. And like hormonally, sometimes we are going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the best news ever is that is just a few days of the cycle.
Yeah. The other 27 days, you kick so much ass. Because we always have, because we've always had to.
We've always had to. And men have no fucking idea what goes into anything. Anything. I remember like the first time years and years ago when I like made Mark be responsible for the kids for the first time. Well, it was because of work. It was like he had to take the kids on vacation and I got this job that I had to take. And so he had to take them on this beach vacation. And I remember the text message. I'll never fucking forget it, where he was like, oh my God, I didn't even know like the things you had to pre-think about in order to go to the beach for a couple hours. And I was like, yeah, it's no joke, dude. It's a lot. And get used to it, because I quit. I'm not going to think about that shit ever again. Now it's your turn. No, that's not true. But I mean, it is kind of. But like, they have no idea. They have no idea. And they just like move through the world as if.
Yeah.
Like the seas will part and like everything will be fine. And the
It'll
seas
work
do
out.
part.
Right.
And it does work out so much of the time for these guys because of the way that they're moving. And I'm telling you, the times when I have moved that way, the seas have fucking parted. And look, I stand here with privilege, but guys, I know my demographics. A lot of you have a lot of privilege, okay? But like, I'm just saying, when I have moved through the world as if I were a white man with all of the like, the fucking doors open, the people sit down and listen, like shit happens. And I do feel a little bit, especially recently, I've been a little Debbie Downer-ish about lots of things. But like, I think we're done with that now.
Well, one thing that I wanted to say is that, like, you were saying that they have no idea. I think a lot of times we have no idea. We have no idea because we don't stand around adding up all of the energy we put toward being like, oh, the saran wrap is in the third drawer down in the kitchen and
where the Band-Aids are.
Yeah, where the Band-Aids. And like, if you toted up how much of that you're doing and in your workplace and in your home, in your family, you could probably, I'm going to estimate.
How much time could you save?
You could probably gain back 6 hours of your week by employing the phrase, I don't know where the Band-Aids are. I haven't seen the saran wrap. I don't know. And by the way, it just feels good.
You could gain back 6 hours of your life and lose yourself like probably 175 pounds of a person.
Or maybe, but maybe not. Maybe you'll just like get the satisfaction of watching them like figure it out themselves, where something is or whatever. And like I say this as my type of privilege is that I happen to have a partner who would be more apt to tell me where the Band-Aids are.
Right.
Just because that's how because of who his mom is. If we're being honest, like his mom raised him that like you don't rely on someone for fucking Band-Aids. You know that shit yourself. You know?
Let me tell you something. I had a really interesting moment in South Carolina because I was like, bitchy fucking bitch, not pleased with anything. And everything was hard. And, look, Mark and I... we have a history, obviously. We're going through like a difficult fucking time or whatever. And your girl has only in recent times understood and implemented boundaries.
I'm so proud of you.
Wait, I was really proud of myself too. So yesterday, I was only there. I was like there for so quick.
Yeah.
Like it was like not long at all. So yesterday there was like a situation that came up about food, which was like in our marriage was like it was a thing.
It's a
like
spiral.
It was a thing. The food conversation, the fucking da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And I realized early in the moment, this is a text conversation. We're not even like near each other. That what I needed to do was like take care of myself and I'm like responsible for making sure like children are fed or whatever. But like, I'm not responsible for anyone else. Like at this moment, like Mark and I are separate people. And that's like a thing that was always like a really big issue, whatever. And he was being like, it wasn't, I don't want to say that this was like a Mark thing that was like an issue. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't. But basically, in my moment, I knew my friend, the house that we always go to, that we always stay at, whatever, they have a sauna there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I need in this moment? To myself, this is myself. This isn't to Mark. I was like, I need to sit in this fucking sauna on the low setting or whatever, and I need to do my meditation thing. Yeah. Okay? Like listen to my guided meditation. And that's like 30 fucking minutes, whatever. And Mark had been texting me about lunch, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I had reached out to one of my friends in Charleston, Stacy, who like I only get to see a few times a year.
Right.
I love her so much. And she wanted to have lunch. So I said, I'm going to meditate for like 25 minutes and then let's figure it out. Okay. But then Mark is texting me like, what's happening with food? And like, do you know, da, 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 da. So I was like, I know how you need to eat. I just need to do a meditation. I really don't want to feel pressured about a time or that I'm late. And if that's okay with you and you feel like you can hold that, like, and you won't be annoyed about how long I'm taking or whatever, that if that sounds good, you can come with us. But if you need to go get food. I get it. It's not a big deal. No feelings will be hurt. Like, what is important to me in this moment is that I not feel rushed or pressured.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And like, guys, I didn't know that was a boundary. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
a year, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, me didn't know that was a boundary. Like, what I need in this moment in time is to not feel pressured or to make a decision or rushed.
Yeah.
It's a fucking boundary. I didn't know.
So many things that we thought that people only said on TV, like, let's change the subject. It can be a boundary.
I had no idea. But anyway, it all worked out. And Mark was like, oh, I went and got food for me and Sim and Vince and the kid and the other kids. And Birdie wants to go to lunch with you. And I was like, great. Like,
Perfect.
that's amazing. Like 20 minutes later, I'm like, fantastic. And I just like had this realization that like when you can like return to the things that you actually really need, what you actually really need in those moments, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're still married to the people that you're trying to like co-parent with, or you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever it is, or just like a friend, if you're able to like really tap into like, ooh, you know what I can't deal with in this moment in my life right now is like feeling pressured or like that I'm late and I'm causing a whole thing for others. Like, it's not going to feel good for me. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm telling you, I'm on my own fucking journey. I'm on my own time. And if you're cool with that, that's great. And if not, great. I only am bringing this up because I feel like so many of us like struggle with that idea and like are made to feel selfish.
Yeah.
By partners for
Yes.
like, for just saying what it is that you actually need in that moment.
Yeah.
And that was what I actually needed in that moment. It had been a very stressful, several days of travel, like whatever. It doesn't even fucking matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I needed.
That's what you needed. I think that's super relatable to people. And I think it's funny that it was about food because I think food is like an area that like, it's such a big joke, right? Like asking your girlfriend what she wants to eat. And so like, here's a tip for everybody in any type of relationship, whether it's with someone in your family, someone who's your partner, someone you're dating, your friend, just like you were saying. First of all, everyone's going to eat again. So can we stop treating it like it's some kind of fucking summit? Like
Doesn't have to be.
It's not the last time you're going to eat, God willing. So like everybody can just be like a little chill and a little flexible. But also, if you want something, be honest about it. Say, I can't eat Indian food because I had Indian food yesterday, or I'm allergic to wheat, so I don't want to get pizza or whatever, and then say, but I'm happy to get chicken salads from this place. Because if you're honest about what you want and what you need, or I'm not hungry at all right now, to be honest, if you're honest about what you want and what you need and you put in like your choices, and then it encourages the other person to be honest, and then you can just dispatch with the whole stupid conversation. But also, if you get a rep with your people in your life for being honest and forthcoming instead of like doing this weird like politeness dance that actually is like a huge drag for everyone and isn't really polite at all, then if you get a rep for being honest, I want Italian, but I definitely don't want Mexican today because I had Mexican yesterday. Then when you say, oh, honestly, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter to me, then people know you're telling the truth and that you're not being passive aggressive, that it just doesn't really matter to you in that moment. So just pick what you like and let's move on. And then maybe you'll pick lunch the next time. But people get so dramatic around like,
especially food. What the fuck,
subject
dude?
of food. And like my husband and I did it for so many years where to the point where, you know, we're talking about he has ADHD. He would get hangry and useless. And then we'd just drive around like being mean to each other, looking for something to catch our eye. And that's like, now we know that's not a position we need to put ourselves in. Like, just be honest, say 2 or 3 choices that you would like, but people get so fucking dramatic. And I think it's because out of trying to like be deferential and be polite and, you know, and it's just like, what the fuck? And like, if I really wanted pizza and Matt wanted tacos, then we'll get pizza and tacos. Like we'll make 2 stops.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that is so fucking wild.
That's the world we live in. It's very
literally, yeah. The luxury of this time is that we can all get what we want. Hopefully,
just not an abundance of calamari that will be left over.
Oh God.
Calamari is not. It doesn't keep.
Okay, wait. I forgot to also tell you, Gina only got attacked by the cat, the outdoor cat at the house that we stay at. But it was, when I tell you, a comical attack, like
oh my God.
Like a Tom and Jerry, like a cartoon attack. Mark, thank God, was a witness with me. The cat jumped on Gina's back.
Oh my God.
But by the way, my friends have a dog who travels with them. So like the dog wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
But the outdoor cats were there.
Yeah.
We've never had like an interaction with these outdoor cats. I don't fucking know. They weren't my favorite. Birdie was like into them. Birdie loves a cat. Fine. But Gina comes in. She's excited. She loves the smell of a cat. She wants to find out everything she can about them. When I tell you that Mark and I saw this cat leap through the air onto Gina's back and start like punching her in the back of the head.
No.
And Gina was just like, ah! And like ran into the house. And then the cat like went somewhere else. And I checked Gina. And it was funny because the cat clearly didn't scratch her. Like if you're a cat person, which I am now, consider myself a partial cat person because I've had some cats that I've loved.
Yeah. That's a great short story, partial cat person.
Partial. It is. That's my New York Times bestselling short story, partial cat person. I have had some cats that I've loved, so I like understand cats a little bit more. And like one thing that I love about cats is like I do know that they can choose when to scratch and when not to scratch.
Yeah.
And if you like, these are outdoor cats.
Yeah.
They're not.
So they defend themselves.
Right. They defend themselves. But like that cat like beat Gina with its paws, but didn't put its claws out, which is like actually kind of hilarious when you think about it.
It was
like,
she was just fucking with her.
She was fucking with her. Exactly. And I was just like, it was wild, but it freaked Gina out so bad. My poor little girl. And like, I just had to like hold her and cuddle her. And she was like, oh my God, why'd you bring me to this fucking horrible place? I would have been much happier in New York. But then I got to take Gina to the beach for off-leash hours, which were until 10 a.m. And when I tell you that dog was living her best life on that beach, it was the cutest, best thing ever. And if you have a dog and you ever get an opportunity to take them to a beach, I highly recommend it because it was So fucking cute.
Aw.
And she's been on beaches before.
Yeah.
But like, because, you know, she was a puppy in LA. She went to
Sure.
Malibu, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. All dogs go to Malibu.
Not my dogs.
No, not those guys. But anyway, but when she was a baby, you know, when she was best friends with the chain smokers
Yes.
dog, Sir
Yeah.
Adi the Roddy. Now my rosé kicked in and I'm just on a tangent.
You're on it. But we love a tangent. We love a rosé fueled tangent.
So, guys, when Gina was a baby, she went to her trainer, who also is currently training one of the chain smokers guys' new puppies that was like a baby Roddy
Yeah.
Rottweiler. And Gina and Sir Adi the Roddy were best friends. They loved each other so much. And they went on their like daily like Malibu journeys together. This is during the pandemic. This is a special time in Gina's life. Anyway, Sir Adi the Roddy. I don't know the chain smokers. I don't know this guy at all. But our dogs were best friends when they were babies. And so Gina's like experience on the beach was with Sir Adi the Roddy, the chain smoker's dog, when she was a baby until now. And like I took her to the beach and she was so cute and she was so happy. I do wonder if she was looking for Sir Adi the Roddy, but
she probably knows
that he wasn't there.
Yeah, I think so. This reminds me of when my son went to preschool sometimes with Lola Ciccone.
Almost exactly the same thing.
It's nearly the same thing. But he was like talking about this girl, Lola. And then I was like, oh, Lola Ciccone, the baby daughter of Madonna. I get it. But to this day, to your point about Sir Adi the Roddy, Eli will see her in a People magazine and every time says, oh, Lola. Like he just sees her in a different way.
Let me tell you something. I still follow Sir Adi the Roddy on Instagram. So I will see Sir Adi and I'll be like, oh, Sir Adi, he's so big now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gina was fine. She was briefly attacked by my friend's outdoor cat, but the cat didn't use claws, just punched her in the back of the head a couple times. It was like the wildest.
I mean, brutal and wild, but no blood
so
was drawn.
Insane. And all in all, South Carolina was, you know, I'm back.
It was a whirlwind. You're back. You're back.
It's a whirlwind. It was a whirlwind.
You're back home with your rosé and
my Lucas and my Lucas's pawpaw ointment on all of my fucking bug bites that I hope aren't monkeypox. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's monkeypox, but
I know, but I did have a moment this morning when I was like, I mean, could this be monkeypox? And then Vince was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's just bug bites, busy.
Probably
like,
bug bites, but you're right. You're right to, you're right to wonder. You'll be in better shape than someone who doesn't wonder. But hopefully I think if it's just itchy and just is staying itchy, then
anyway,
you're in the clear.
On hour 3.
Yeah. Perfect. Right on
we
time.
Say, we love you.
We love you
so much. And
have a great week. And we'll see you on the Substack.
I thought you were about to say happy birthday, but
happy birthday.
We love you and happy birthday.
Happy birthday. If it's your birthday.
It might be.
It'll be your birthday sometime. Save it up.
Someday.
I hope people come to your party if you have
new
one.
Leo moon.
Yes. Happy new moon.
It's been a time.
It's been a time. Yeah, it's been a time. We love you all so much, and we will talk to you next week.
If not before.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.